Accidentally hit the, yeah, you can look around a little bit. This is my battery area. This is a mess over here because these are the first 4 batteries I placed and I was trying to get it up and running. So I'm going to end up removing most of this and making a nice entrance here. I've moved all the battery storage to here, but I can remove these safely now without worrying about screwing anything up. I've wired it that way so that it's good. And that green button that's directly across me that says power off, never touch that.
Okay.
um, so anyway, we can come this way. If you want to melt something and get the ore right there in front of you.
Trying to turn down the sensitivity on my mouse. Kind of high.
Gotcha. Gotcha. No worries, dude.
Gameplay. Hmm. Okay, I don't see it. All right.
Yeah, mine's on my mouse. I can just change the DPI on my mouse.
Yeah, I don't know how to do this on my dad's mouse.
Yeah. There's usually like 2 buttons, one up, one down, brings it up or down depending on how good his mouse is. But anyway, if you want to melt some ore or something after you go
Oh.
mining on your own, you found it?
No. No, I did not.
SDWD, gotcha. Yeah, if you press enter, that's chat commands between us. You can chat.
Oh. Oh, okay.
That's what you were
Got
doing
it.
when right now. Just a big
Yeah,
bubble.
I
Watch.
pressed I pressed enter, then I tried to walk. I forgot how low the actuation is on this keyboard.
Here, watch. You'll see a smiley face pop above my head right now. That's what it looks like when you talk.
Yep.
So,
All right.
anyway, do you want to smelt some ore? You can just come over here, shove it in this, and by pressing Q, if it's in your hand and you press Q, you'll throw it. Just throw it right at that little hole, and it'll suck it in and put it into that, and auto melt it and shoot it out when it's done.
I picked up a hard suit backpack.
Yeah, put that in your backpack.
Oh, I just sent it down the ore thing.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that's gonna do.
What's I don't know what that's gonna do either.
I gotta, yeah, I've never done that. Let me get in here and I'll fix that real quick. Where is my tool? Where
Am
did
I
I?
able to get that out, or am I have to get a new one?
No, you'll get it back. Where? I don't see. Aha, there it is. I mixed it all up. I don't know. Maybe it did destroy it because the slot's empty. Hmm, that would suck. I think there was some good stuff in that backpack. That was all the stuff that I'd prepared for Jeff, I think. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere in here. I could do one last spot I can check is in this. It might get caught in the end, but there's no reason for it to not come out if it got that far. Yeah, just check just because, you know, I don't know. Okay, no big deal. I have plenty of resources. I've been at this for a while. Rebuild this. So you want to put only ore in this sucker. Shoot outlet. And there we go. So yeah, that backpack should have gone into your jetpack, and then you could have kept smaller things in there. There's another backpack over here I'll give you. You can have that just to have extra storage. This is like my production area. Hmm? Oh, I forgot to put that piece back. Any questions about anything? Your voice is off if you're trying to talk. Yeah, you got no mic, bro. Something's wrong. Unless you don't hear me either. Maybe your headset turned off.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Okay, got it. So my suit got stuck, or something about my suit got stuck in there.
Weird, and my stream just stopped too. That's funny. I was streaming to my screen to you. But we don't really need it unless we have something we come up on. So yeah, this is
Ingot?
like my production area here. These are all the different machines you can build stuff in. So each one has its own special purpose to build in. You
Silicon
know,
ingots?
obviously Electroprint does electronics. The auto lathe does most everything basic. Then you've got
Does
with
Electroprint do like PCBs and stuff?
yes.
Ah,
And then the hydraulics press here is for anything pipe related, anything pressure, atmosphere, kind of stuff. And this makes all the tools. So anything,
tool maker.
Oh, and I was supposed to give this to Jeff.
Oh.
Put that in your backpack.
Um,
Now, what you want to do to be able to have a cursor on
or
screen is if you hold
alt.
down. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, I learned that in the tutorial.
All right on.
That's really the only thing I learned in the tutorial.
Yeah,
I didn't understand the rest.
I didn't even do the tutorial, honestly. I thought it was confusing, and I just started playing, and then figured it out and watched videos, and. So I built all this area here. This is like my sorting area. Everything comes from the outside when I mine. Comes through all these things up here and gets sorted up top. On top of this building, there's a bunch of sorters that way. So that's, and everything gets piped this direction. Now, if you want to throw anything away for recycling, like an air filter that's gone bad or anything like that, shove it in this chute. It'll go through my recycling system. It'll get chewed up, recycled, reheated, and then separated out and then put back into ore. That's all set up because it's got a chute going up over to the shredder to the um, here. If you want to press J, I'll show you. Oh no, you can't see it, huh? I got it blocked off. I think I blocked it all off because I didn't want the sun on it, because sometimes ice goes through that area. But
Can the sun hurt things over time in
the
this game?
sun will melt ice if it's in your hand, even if it's below cold. So if you're through a window and you're getting the sun hitting on you, if you're like, -3 degrees or 4 degrees, something like that, it'll still start to melt the ice in your hand.
Huh.
So these are a failed experiment with heaters and whatnot in there. I turned off the heaters and broke the window down, and now what happens is ice just feeds through my room up top, comes and sits in here until the daytime, melts it one at a time, and then they feed into these pipes. Goes under the floor, gets sucked into my system here, and it gets separated into each of these containers. Now, green is for nitrogen, that's your jetpack fuel.
Okay.
Blue is water, which you don't need personally, but I use it to grow plants and everything, and I use it to mix with coolant. X is poison. It's probably most related to like ammonia, something like that. You know what I mean? So you
Hmm.
mix ammonia and water together, and you get a coolant, and that's what I put in my radiator that was running the air conditioners.
Like antifreeze?
Exactly, and it kind of acts as a coolant, so that you can pump a bunch of heat out, and then um, there's a chart on the wiki that shows how much heat is retained or absorbed from each gas and how many joules or whatever they can absorb and whatnot and all that. If the calculations work out, if you work out the calculations, it's best to mix like a 50-50 of water and X, and you'll carry the most amount of heat out into your radiator exterior. Um, so yeah, and then you got white, which is oxygen, and red, which is basically hydrogen. It's volatiles in the game, but it's basically hydrogen and oxygen.
Is this the official wiki?
I think that's the wiki that yes.
Okay.
Let me go click over and see. I've got it up on my desktop, I thought too. Yeah, close. just look up Stationeers Wiki, and it's unofficial stationeers-wiki.com.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the one I'm on.
it's a blue splash page. Yeah, there's a bunch of good stuff on there. You can refer to that for a lot of stuff. You want to come say hi to Amy? I got two Amy's right here. These are automated mining something or other, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I forget the name of what they're called, but it's a long acronym for Amy. AMIMEE, something like that. So, this right here is pretty interesting. Come on in, I'll close it behind you.
Oh, okay.
So this is my freezer room. And the reason this is in the freezer room is because that pink tank over there is full of fuel. Now fuel is mixed between hydrogen and oxygen. You have to mix an exact ratio of hydrogen and oxygen. Um, and you get a perfect fuel that burns clean. If you mix any other ratio, it doesn't burn as clean, doesn't burn as hot, doesn't, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of downsides to burning a non-mixed fuel correctly. You can still get results with a non-mixed fuel, but it's not as, you know what I mean? It's not as clean. Right now, this is 67% oxygen and 33% hydrogen.
Okay.
And as you
Am
can
I
tell,
being heard?
no, you can see the ice forming around you. Is that what the problem is? You see the ice?
Okay.
Yeah, that's no problem. It just means that you're really, really cold because it's negative 91 in here.
Uh, is that Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Celsius.
Celsius. Got it. I saw it now.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
turn it.
if you point your pointer at this little wheel, you'll see it input 1, input 2.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
Yep, and then with the percentages are set out. Now, input 1 was what, 33? So input 1 was the hydrogen, input 2 is the oxygen at 67%. So you mix those two, but see the weird thing, well, I guess the cool thing about it is they're so precise on how this stuff works that temperature makes a difference. So that's why I have these radiators on these pipes. And if you cool a gas to a certain temperature, to a low enough temperature so they're near each other before you mix, you'll get a better mix. This can't compensate for temperature differential. So if you put in hot hydrogen and cold oxygen, you won't get the correct mix even though your settings are correct.
Okay.
Just something to keep aware
What's this
of.
big purple thing? Is that just a tank?
That's a tank.
No.
Here, let me give you that. Look at that real quick. Pick that up, put it in your hand, and then press O, and then point it at the tank.
Small pressure 14 MPa. What's MPa stand for?
Millipascals or megapascal. Megapascals. That one's megapascal. Yeah,
Hmm. I don't know what that means. I mean, I know it
it's
has to do with pressure, but
exactly. It's just a measurement of pressure. It's just you know, you'll
how do I
learn.
drop things? T.
Q is you drop it
Oh,
quick.
Q is throw.
Yep. Yeah, Q
Got
is
it.
throw, but if you hold down Q, you'll throw it farther. So if you want to toss
Got it.
something really far, you can go about 4 or 5 feet in front of you if you hold Q. Okay, we can get out of here though.
All right. If I can walk through a door.
All
All right.
right. Now what you should do is probably, if you want, start from the beginning and like build a base like, you know, on the other side of the hill from here or something. And that way you can start and do your process and learn, and I can come help you anytime you get stuck on something. That way you're not just sitting in my base and, you know, and why am I hot? Uh-oh, get away from there. Something just blow up. Why am I hot? 283 degrees near that. Why?
I'm only 20C.
Huh.
Oh, yeah, me too.
200 something degrees?
Yeah. Wait. No, that's my direction. Never mind.
Huh. I was on fire for a second, like hot. I wonder what that was about. I wonder if this blew out. No, the inner door's closed still. Hmm. This is my ice processing area. I melt ice in there, so sometimes I've had it explode on me a couple times.
From the
So
pressure?
Yeah, because the ice melts too fast, and then it builds up, and then it just blows out the door, and then flames come out, and everything goes to hell. I don't know why I got 200 something degrees right here. Huh, maybe that was a glitch. There's no reason for that. I don't see any of my tanks blown up. Nothing's on fire. I'm gonna go up high real quick, make sure I don't see anything funny. Yeah, looks okay. Alright, well.
Whoa, the jetpack is fast. How do I come down from the jetpack?
Control is down.
Okay, got it.
Took me
Boom.
forever. Took me forever to learn that one. I don't feel there's no heat over here, so that's weird, but whatever.
How do
Dude,
I start the game?
what do you mean?
Like what do I need to do at the beginning?
Um, I mean, you don't have to. I mean, you can just stay here and start learning to build, but you want to start learning how to build these systems. This game's all about systems building and learning how it works. I mean, it's kind of a nerdy game to the point where I have fun blowing myself up a few times. You know what I mean? Like, just it's one of those games where you got to learn to have your own fun by making cool stuff with what you have around you. You know what I mean? Like this thing,
Okay, you
for
can hear me
instance.
now.
Yeah,
Okay. I
like this thing, for instance. You know, this is some crazy stuff off the workshop that I built. This is 5 IC10 chips, and what it does is it will make any of the ore or any of the combinations of ore that I want. So any of the ingots that you see on the wiki, any of the crazy alloys and the crazy, hastaloy and any of that, I can make that right here by changing these two knobs and pulling that lever and then adding in whatever I want mixed into there. So I look up the exact ratio of what I want, like whatever I'm making, and I put those ingredients into this hole, and then I walk over here and I change this first knob is called CPU selector. The second knob is called or ally type or alloy. Jeez, I can't speak. So I first select the CPU I want, and the CPU I want, number 0 is basic ores. All the basic ores I can just sit there and smelt and throw it through that, and it'll smelt it. If I switch this to number 2, it brings me to all the other different combinations of ores. Like I'll go to, okay, value 0 on the second switch, Constantine. Value 1, Electrum. Value 2 is Invar. 3 is solder. 4 is steel. And that's the end of that CPU. You can switch one more
so you
time.
coded all that.
I didn't code it, but someone on the workshop did. That's what's great about Steam is people can code stuff, put it up there, and go, "Hey, I built this. Have fun with it."
Yep.
So right here, you can access the workshop at this computer. Okay,
Ah,
if you hit edit on the bottom there, okay, and then hit clear on that. I might not let you because I'm in it. Let me get out so you can do it. So you see
okay, I
edit
pressed
there?
clear.
Okay, you press clear. Now on the
Hmm.
left, go to library.
Library, got it.
Okay.
Create new.
Well, that's if you want to create your own. Yep, you can create your own right there.
What
Um,
language is this?
I don't know, but
I'll look it up.
all the variables are on your right hand side here. So on that blue edit script screen that's in front of you, you've got the SX, the X, and the F. Those are all the descriptions of the different modifiers you can put in to do things within this, you know, to change what you're telling it. I don't know what language it is though. Yeah.
ICs and Space Engineers on MIPS. Anything about creation? Yeah.
So if you open up Steam and you go to Stationeers,
In community?
and you go to community and you go to their workshop, the Stationeers workshop.
Okay.
You'll have a bunch of different options for. I usually just roll down to the most popular and then roll through that for a while. And I just hit see all 1,846 items, and like the first, 40 or 50 are pretty good. You know what I mean? But some of them you just got to read. Some of them are in Russian. Some of them are, you know what I mean? So you just got to know what you're looking for. Honestly,
Do
the
you
only
use any of the other language script?
what language? No,
Like any other language besides English?
no,
Okay.
no. From what I heard, these guys that built this game uh, were they New Zealanders? I think these games from New Zealand. That's who built this. But
You said the variables were somewhere. I don't
um,
know where that is.
so you're on the blue edit script screen. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
On the right hand side, on the very top, you see SX, X, and F. Click those.
Um, oh yeah, I do see that. Device variables. Device.
Slot variables, device variables, and functions. You can put all those. Those are all different. And honestly, I've learned a little bit by just looking at other code and realizing what they're trying to tell it to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Is there a console on here, or is it just run the code in the game?
Yeah, it's just run the code in the game kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but then and once you have your code finalized, at the bottom of that, you'd hit confirm to confirm that that's what you want. And then you'd go over here, you'd put an empty clean IC chip in with zero bytes, 0 bytes in it. Put it in there, and then you'd hit export. And it'll export it to this little chip housing.
Okay. Um,
You want a free IC chip? That way you can just play around with it if you want later.
I think I want to do the survival part first, where you try to build a base like this one, except for
Mm-hmm.
maybe not this um crazy. I guess I don't know how to
Well,
explain
this
it.
took a long time, man.
Yeah, that's what I think.
My original base, I think, was right here where I'm standing. I think this was my hydroponics bay, like right here. And then my door was here. I had another door, and then my exterior. And then I built all this around it, and then tore it down. Used those parts for everything else. So yeah, I mean exactly that. You have to start, and I think, and if you want to do that, I think you have to start your own fresh save. Or I can start a fresh save, and we can start with the basic resources from one start. You know what I mean? Because right now we've
Hmm.
got all the resources that I've already got. I've been mining forever. I mean, I got 500 copper, 500 copper, 250, 300. You know what I mean? Like, I got all kinds of materials sitting here that I've been mining forever, and I've already made a bunch. So you can play all you want in here and learn all the systems in here, and then do the survival anytime you. This is like a playground basically for you, is what I envision.
I have no idea what any of this stuff is. I got to figure that out.
Well, that's why you can go try to start to figure it out, and then when it comes to something you go, wait, how did he do that? You can come over here and you can look at how you know, like tear all this crap up. What you do is you take a crowbar, you start ripping this crap up, and then you'll be able to see all the stuff underneath that I hid.
That's some good cable management. Just put it underneath the floor.
Yep, exactly why you don't see any of it. You don't have to worry about any of it. That's But if I reveal it all to you, it gives you a clearer view of what's going on. And see this red and white pipe that I just walked over? That's the ones that
Hmm.
you saw in that room, leading into that room.
Ah.
and those are coming off the oxygen and hydrogen tanks with a pressure regulator feeding those tubes to keep them at a certain pressure.
Okay, so they're all color coded.
Yep, I've already painted everything so it's easy to read. The brown is the output from the furnace. Right now, if you took that tablet I had, and you have one in your pocket too, if you want to find it, um, you take that tablet out and you point it at that tank, turn it on by pressing O, and then point it at that tank, you'll see that there's a bunch of garbage in there right now because I haven't opened it since the last time I used it because the contents were so hot. I didn't want to dump it into my filtration system here and heat up all my gases that are already cooled off in these tanks. So I let this sit in here, do its cooling, and then I can open this valve right here, and that'll dump it all into this system that then goes through all these filters. See how this filters out hydrogen, and it puts the hydrogen in that, boom, goes to that tank. And I've
Wait,
got
what's the red tank again?
a hydrogen.
Ah,
And then, so it filters it out with these two filters that are in here, and everything just changes by these filters. You can put whatever filter you want in here to filter whatever kind of gas you want. And if you look at the port here, it says filtered. So that's your filtered output, and that puts only filtered stuff. If these filters are they're say, whatever those filters are, comes out this port and goes into that tank. And this is,
unfiltered
yep, that's a
input.
reject. That's basically the reject. Everything that it didn't filter out that it didn't like and want to send on this tube, it sends it back out this one, which then reconnects into my tube that goes this way and goes into the oxygen filter. Any oxygen in its system gets sucked out and put into that tank, and then it continues this way. And it continues this way, so all the X gets filtered out, put into that tank, and then it continues this way. And any water that I put into the system gets filtered and put into that. And then nitrogen, same thing. And then it does a loop right here with an open vent sucking atmosphere. So at all times, these are getting atmosphere. There's a tiny bit of nitrogen in the atmosphere, a tiny bit of oxygen, and a bunch of carbon dioxide. So I've got those filters running all the time, but I've turned my carbon dioxide filter off so I don't build any more pressure in my carbon dioxide tank that's buried in this mountain here, in this structure here. The gray one I buried, that's my carbon dioxide. And the same thing, it's the same pump, runs the same way. And if I ever need to bring my CO2 up in my base because my plants don't have enough CO2, I can take this portable tank off its stand, its maximum pressure, and I can bring it inside and just open the tank basically in there, and it'll fill up a bunch of carbon dioxide in my base.
So the carbon dioxide is for the plants.
Yep, they use it and they turn it into oxygen. So my environment in there will slowly oxygenate because I'm growing plants. And it also heats up. The plants produce a lot of heat, and the lights that they're using to run use a ton of heat.
All right.
Oh
What
yeah.
do these robots do?
They are automatic mining. They're called AMI, automatic mining something or other. I don't know the acronym. There's a long acronym.
So they mine.
AMMIEE. Yeah, and you got to put a chip into them that's programmed to send them out to a certain waypoint with a GPS point, and then they come back. I've got one programmed way out here. If you want to follow me, I'll show it to you. It's not on right now. I guess I could grab a battery. I'll go grab a battery for it real quick, and
Okay.
then I'll. This is the stuff that I'm up to learning. You know what I mean? Like I've learned everything to this point, and this is the stuff that I'm like, how does it work? And I'm still figuring it out. So I grabbed a nuclear battery, and then we can go off this direction and go find Amy that I've got way at the end. Oh, jump over this pit. Don't don't fall into that hole. Yep, you're going the right way. Just follow me out. You'll see my light. So you see this conveyor, this thing I've got going all the way out here?
Yeah.
Oops, I just fell in a hole. Okay. Yep, so follow that to its end. And there you got Amy.
Ah. Did they change out the batteries every once in a while?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I use nuclear batteries, because they got more power. And see, what I've got in her head right now is a blank IC chip. If you want to grab it, it's got 0 bytes.
Then I go to Alt.
You see it in your hand, it's got 0 bytes in it.
Oh, yeah, I don't know why I didn't. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and shove it back in. The reason it's there is because the programming for this, Amy, is done remotely from a transmitter that I have. I'll have to go show you that. But I've
So you
programmed
can
it,
change it while it's still out here?
and I also have feedback constantly at the base telling me where she's
Mm-hmm.
at, what she's doing. So there she goes. She's going to stay away from her, though, because something's funny about the voxels when you're near these. They sink into the voxels when you're near them for some reason, and they can't move. So I usually keep my distance. But they're not great. You got to go out and fetch them once in a while because they fall into a hole or they can't get out of something. You know what I mean? Like, so her little that's her little spot to go to if she hasn't found anything to mine. Now she's gonna go mine. So if you want to go follow me, I'll go back to the base and I'll show you how the programming's set up. I'm going to use my jetpack.
Okay, I will too then.
Just quicker that way. There you go. Oh, hi. Bye.
How
Yeah,
bad is the fall damage?
it's not too bad. You got a hard suit on.
Yeah.
If you weren't wearing that hard suit, it'd be bad.
Okay.
Okay, so where are you at?
Behind you.
Ah, okay. So up here. This is convoluted as hell. So you've got this thing right here that I'm looking at is the transmitter. It's a logic transmitter. This IC chip right here contains the AME programming that she's running out there that she's actually doing right now. So
Okay.
right now, see that LCD up there that says 5? So she's in mode 5, which I'd have to look up right now what mode 5 is, and those are her GPS coordinates. 69.77 by 40, negative 45.
Is there a way to look at that on a map?
No, there is no map. That's the weird thing. And this one in blue is the battery. That's the battery percentage, so I know when to go change your battery.
Okay. Okay, so that's like a new battery.
Yep,
One would be brand new.
exactly. One is 100% basically.
Got it. Logic writer. What does that do? Does that
Ugh.
edit the code?
No, that basically writes to something. So what it's doing is this IC code um, is sending out a signal that needs to be written to this transmitter. So it's taking what it needs from. I set these little screws here to send what I need to the logic writer, or I'm sorry, the logic writer. Set the screws to read what it needs off of the IC10, and it tells the transmitter what to say. You know what I mean? Like it writes information. It tells the information to go out. And you've got logic writers and you've got batch writers. Logic writers write to individual machines. Batch writers write to a group of machines. So like, say if I had a logic writer, I could write to an individual battery. If I had a batch writer, I'd write to all the batteries on that internet circuit. So on that network, I would write to all the batteries.
Could you get a batch writer to only write to one? Or is it one or the other?
No, it can write to one, absolutely, but it writes in groups, so any battery or anything you put on that network later would automatically be controlled by it. So like my solar panels up there, I can add as many solar panels to that network as I want, and they'll all react the same. The moment I hook them to that network, they all do the exact same thing because they're all being controlled by the same batch writer. Any questions?
No.
Okay.
Um,
I know I'm throwing a lot at you right now.
Very little of it makes sense, but I don't even know what to ask.
Yeah, no, I get that. No, I mean, you've got to go through all those tutorials and then try and build a base from scratch is the only way to really. The threat of death really makes you learn.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is the part I'm still working on and trying to understand. What I want to do is I want to add a branch off of this, put another power control unit, because these units right here, they have a battery inside. Let me show you that. It's a switch and a battery inside. And the switch allows power to run through this thing. If you have that switch in the off position, it won't power anything beyond it. It's just a dead end. And the battery that's in it will power anything that's beyond it if the power gets cut. Okay, so if I burn a cable on the left-hand side of this, that battery will feed this logic writer and all these LEDs until it finally runs dead.
So like those battery backups you use on servers and stuff.
Basically, yeah, it's basically a
Data
UPS,
center.
but it
Cool.
also isolates
Yeah.
the network. So anything on this side, it won't be seen in the network settings. So you can go to any of these switches, like these screws that are on there. You can cycle through. Don't do it because you're going to change all my stuff. But you can cycle through and see all the machines on that network. That battery switch right there separates networks. So you won't see anything on this side on that side, and you won't see anything on that side on this side. That
Is the
what's up? No, you went quiet, dude. Maybe your mic went crazy again.
oh
There you go. You're back.
uh okay. Is the red network and power?
Yeah, it can be network and power. That's what I was trying to explain. Is
Uh
on one side of this box right here with the battery in it, you have one network. On the other side, you have another network. This is like a break in the network, so no network information will pass through this box. And that's good for some reasons and bad for others. So you got to wire your systems accordingly to know what you want to be on that network. And if you do want to interconnect things between networks that are isolated by distance or something like that, you can technically use a transmitter and then have another transmitter on the other network that you turn to be a receiver. And then that'll transmit any logic from that circuitry to the other circuitry that's however far away you want it to be.
do you have to deal with data speeds? Like transfer speeds from transmitters?
No, not that I've ever. No, God, no. I hope they never implement that. That'd be nuts.
Getting like 3G from your transmitter.
It's some dial-up.
Yep. They got a modem screams at you.
Dude, I used to dial up to AOL that way, bro. That used to be the only way to access the internet. 56K modem. That was the top of the line back then.
Then you could play like Doom on online servers.
Yep, yeah, I did some of that stuff. I started getting out of games at that point, but I did a lot of years of hard work and put my head down for 20, 20 some, 20, 25, 25 years. So I started getting back into games pretty hardcore last few, um, just because it's something to do on the side. And especially with this COVID crap, I've been bored out of my mind sitting here without work.
Well, that you've had work recently, which is good.
Yeah, I did one gig today. We filmed a couple, a couple little things, but yeah, it's one gig in 8 months, something like that, 6 months, something like, I don't know. I don't want to even add it up because it just depresses me when I think about it. See, I think this is my problem. It's in a circle right now. I think it's sitting somewhere and just doing a circle because it's in mode 5, which I believe is path to target or something like that. Um, and if it can't reach it, sometimes it starts to just go in a circle out there. So I'm still working out this code and how everything works and what I'm doing wrong, or if it's something I'm not even doing wrong, and if it's just something that sucks because That was a good yawn. I had my mic. Forgot to close my mic for that one. Damn, sorry. I thought I folded
Yeah,
it up.
I was already yawning anyways.
Okay.
Maybe you started yawning because I was yawning. I don't know.
Okay, he's sitting at the chute. Why is he sitting at the chute?
His
You know,
battery couldn't have been out already.
no, I can see it there. The battery is like 97%. Okay, he's got a bunch of coal. Why isn't he unloading it? Why don't you want to unload your backpack, buddy?
So you
Gotta,
can see that he's standing still because none of the coordinates are moving.
yeah, I'm got him in my hands right now, and I'm walking with him. I'm gonna walk him away,
None of
throw
the
him.
coordinates are moving.
Yep, I just threw him somewhere. I'm gonna let him walk back to his coordinates, see if he drops this time. These things are glitchy. Oh, he made a turn. No, no, he's going. Where are you going, buddy? All the crazy back and forth. Yeah, see, this is the part I'm up to learning. I'm trying to figure this stuff from these guys out. And the reason I put this chute all the way out here is because these dang things like to climb all over your base and try and find ore. Like if you put the chute near your base, they always want the ore that's under your base. And so they're always just like
Mm-hmm.
ramming themselves into your base and then sitting there. So, you know what I mean? That's why I put it
That's
out
useful.
here. Yeah, exactly. That's why I put it out here and I set the coordinates out here. Oh, cool. He unloaded. Good. Okay, I'm going to back away, see if he drives off. Yeah, he's going to drive off. Okay, so that was just a hitch. He just got hitched up right there and didn't drop off like he should have. So now his mode should have changed to 3 on that thing. Let's see.
Okay. It is on 2,
2. Okay, I have to look what 2 is.
now
No, that is
3.
3. Okay, so yeah, he was heading to his predetermined coordinates, and now he's searching for ore, I believe is what that's saying. Because 2, I think, was head to predetermined coordinates or something, one of those. And then the 3 is, I believe, I should just pull up the dang page, and that way I'm not, you know, sitting here guessing anymore. Because I did this a couple weeks ago. AIMEE. It's automated independent mechanical entity. And so let's see. So it was 2. 2 was move to target. So it was move in a straight line to target. 3 is roam. Wander around looking for ore in 15 coordinate radius. So if it's doing 3, then it's looking for ore and it's mining right now. Yep. And as long as
How do
those
you change your view?
um to see your character? I don't know. I always,
I'm in third person and I'm trying to get back into first person.
you know, I don't
It
know.
is.
Time to start pressing buttons. I can see you have a latency of 91 to my computer though. 93. That's not bad, dude. That's not bad at all. If that's your average latency to here to my house, that ain't bad. That definitely means you could use servers here. That's less than 0.1, second, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It says I have a like 24 millisecond, 25 millisecond latency.
Oh, okay. On my side, I'm watching. If you press tab, it comes up with my name as host, your name, as Patty Man, and then it has the your latency on the right side, how long you've been connected.
Oh, yeah, I see that now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just my frame time. Never mind. Yep.
Oh, you're looking at your frame count? Yeah, gotcha.
That
F1
was
brings up
yeah.
the Stationpedia. F2 gets rid of everything if you want to take a screenshot. So it gets rid of everything on your screen so you can take a pretty screenshot of something blowing up or something.
Yeah.
And then you don't need to worry about any of the other ones. F4 brings up some information for me for client stuff. Oh, where the third person is, I forget.
Enter. That's a reset.
Oh god, what did I do? Okay, good. I'm glad I got that IC chip in because I think I opened something or yeah. Oh yeah, I opened my helmet for a second accidentally. Oops. IC chip just protected me. It reclosed my helmet for me immediately.
Oh, that. Yep. Development build. Is this game not fully out yet?
No, it's not complete. They're still building it,
Uh,
but it's they're still updating. They just released a big ass update. I think it's pretty awesome.
what does the
I'm
update do?
They just added some stuff, added some the rocketry, so you can build a rocket now and go to space and go to Europa or any of the other planets that are been in the game. Um, just stuff. There's a lot. They did a lot on that upgrade. I think they also broke a couple little things though, because there was a couple things that were funny right away at the beginning that I think they released patches for, like little quick patches. Okay, I don't like that that guy hasn't moved. Okay, what's 4? Oh, he's unloading. Okay, yeah, he's good. He's unloading. So 4 is unload. Unload into a chute input or chute bin within 3 meters. 1.5 large grid. That's what that is. And you want to... Here, this is really informative. You know what I did the first time? Oop, I had my jetpack on still. I did not realize I had my jetpack on. Um, so here, let me bring up the code for the Amy. Okay. So you can go ahead and hit edit now and you'll see the Amy code that's on that. Can you access that while I'm
Uh,
accessing it?
yes.
Perfect. So if you look into that, you can scroll down that and kind of see what's happening. So it gives each thing an alias, and D is an output on the device itself. It's a pin on the IC10 chip. So all of the pins are a D0, D1, D2, D3, D4, and D5. That's 6 pins total. So 0 through 5.
Like the actual physical pins on the chip.
Yep,
Okay, got it.
yep. And you see how you got a screw next to each of those pins on that
Yep.
circuit housing? That circuit housing, so you take your screwdriver and you click on those screws and you can change what that pin is directed to. So if you wanted to control, say like inside I'm controlling 1 through 6 hydroponics. So D0 would be hydroponics 1, D1 would be hydroponics 2, D2 would be hydroponics 3, D3 would be hydroponics 4, D5 would be hydroponics, or in that order basically, all the way up to D5 would be hydroponics 6. So because you have a 0 in the mix.
There's a lot of variables that are already in the game.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, this game's nuts, dude. You could get lost in here forever. But see how you scroll down, see like line 22 through line 29 on that IC code? You've got waypoint and it says 0 in there.
Waypoint. No, I don't see that.
It's in line 23 through 29. You're looking at line 23 through 29 on the script. Maybe you don't have the same script up because maybe it didn't come up for you because I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
maybe.
I just hit confirm. Now go ahead. I'm out of it. Now go ahead and hit edit.
Okay.
Do you see that now in that area I was talking about?
29 through. Oh, yeah, I see it now. Yeah. Move to
Perfect.
waypoint X.
Exactly.
So those
So
are two different variable or three different variables.
exactly. So one of your functions is move, and you can move
Mm.
to a waypoint, and the waypoint is this blue number here that's 0. Now that's an XYZ coordinate on your tablet. You can get a GPS chip and put a GPS chip in it, and get XYZ coordinates for where you're at. And so you record those, bring it back to this thing, and you put them into this chip, and that's where it'll go mine, or that's where its waypoint will be. So I've got its waypoint and its mining area and its drop off all loaded in there with GPS points. That's why that works.
So instead of doing like a variable, it calls it an alias,
hmm
and it's R2. What does R2 mean?
That it's a register absolute value of. So if you look in functions, it's like the second thing
Function.
down. It's
I see it.
yeah, no, that's the ABS. I'm sorry, no, I'm wrong. That's the but
Oh, they're
R,
all R question marks.
yeah, R is everything. R is something way more basic. I think it's like registry or something within the chip. It's like, oh, so what it's doing is anytime it reference. Okay, this is what it is. I forgot now. Okay, now it's coming back to me. So alias waypoint X is R1. So anytime you reference R1 within the code, you're referencing waypoint X for the code.
Yep.
I think
Oh, so it's
that's
like a alias to the alias
I
because
I believe
oh no,
that's
the waypoint's a command, right?
I
Or is that an alias?
you know I don't know. That's fun to figure out. That's why I'm saying I'm still learning all this. You know, but yeah, I mean, if you follow along a little farther down, okay, like line 31 through 36, move to waypoint. So that's not actually used by the code. That purple is not actually used by the code. Nothing of that is readable by the code. It's just notes, basically. So the S is a function. Um, Scroll all the way down to it. S. Stores
Um,
register value or variable on device. So store on robot, target X, waypoint X. You know what I mean? So it's telling it to
wait, so
store the
waypoint is move, and then it's target X.
mhm.
Move to
It's
target X.
target X is the X waypoint, which is the one of the GPS points we made above, because you got the
Oh,
XYZ. XYZ gives you a left, right, and up and down coordinates of where you're at on the planet.
that makes sense.
hmm And you see down here on line 35, so tell the robot register value robot mode 2. So that tells the robot to be in mode 2, path to target. So it paths to target. That's why I'm telling you different modes. It's got mode 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. 1 is follow the player, so you can have it set to follow you. Number 2 is move to target. Number 3 is roam. Number 4 is unload. Number 5 is path to target, which is find a path. It's a better pathing. The number 2 is move to target, which is a straight line. 5 is like a figure it out, go around mountains, whatever you got to do to get here kind of thing. And it doesn't always work. Um, Robot mode storage 6 is number 6 is storage full. So that when it's full, this script. So if you go down farther, where is that at? So once you go down to 81. Okay, mode 6. Once mode 6 is read from the robot, it'll tell it to path to base and then unload. And then that's the unload cargo bit right there, you know what I mean? And then it goes back and it starts the code over again. over and over and over. It checks for battery, see if its battery is good. If its battery is good, then it's if it's, let's see that one, battery low. Okay, so if it reads a battery low, a charge of 10%, then it's told down here on line number 100. I don't hear you talking back in case you are.
No, no, I'm not.
Okay, line 100 here starts that movement. So that's the battery low, 10%, moves down to line 100, which means moves to home to wait basically until you replace its battery. So it'll sit there at that chute once it hits 10%.
So this is like a really, really long way of making an if command. Like if 10% do this.
Basically,
Got it.
it says all that within this, and you're setting variables. See, like you can look up all those BLT, BEQZ. Let's see what BLT is.
All right.
Scrolling up.
B L T Z.
Branch. Okay, BLT.
BLT.
Branch to line C if A is less than B. So BLT means go to line C if A is less than B.
Okay. So that itself is just an if command, the BLT command.
Exactly. And each one of these does something different. Branch to line B if A is less than equal to 0. You know what I mean? BLEZAL, that one above it. Branch to line B if A is less than equal to 0. So it's just a matter of,
And the R.
I think that's
I
a
still don't
stored
understand what the
value.
R is.
I think that's a stored
Oh, okay.
value. Like I said, I'm still learning this stuff, man. I mean, don't take my word for gospel because it ain't. And then down here, await new battery. That'll tell it to sit there and wait at the slot, the chute slot at its home position, basically, until I give its battery, and then yield, and then the whole thing starts over again.
When the battery goes out, does the code stop? Or does the motors just stop?
It stops. Well, see, there is no code on the Amy because I've got a blank IC chip.
Oh, yeah.
So the
So the
code,
mo.
the code will continue being transmitted. There's just nothing to receive it.
Got it.
Yeah, I want to set up 3 different Amy's and then have them colored differently, and then color a control room with 3 different control panels colored in a different way for each Amy, and then color the Amy that same color.
And you can tell which is which, like you color, you did all the rest of your stuff with color.
Exactly. So I'd make one a blue, one a red, and one a green or something,
Yep.
And then all their screens, all the background behind their screens, make those boom, make that whole thing green. So I know I'm controlling green with that whole screen setup. Yeah, so basically this, I put, I'll show you, put these on, and then color them so that that whole area that's being controlled, that Amy, would be like blue, and then I'd go aiming, they'll color that Amy blue, and then that would be, boom. .75, so she's still going, and she's in 4, unloading again. So did she ever come back? Maya got stuck unloading again. Should go check on it. I'm gonna go check on it. Why is she over there? You're in the wrong spot, dude. And she can grab onto most anything. As long as, and then she's unloading right now too. You can see that dumping ice into that chute. So you see a little bit of streaks coming off, the little lines coming off. That means the ice is sublimating right now. When the ice goes in that chute, it's too warm out. So you get little bitty lines that come off, and that's ice that's melting by the time it makes it down this chute. And if you follow this chute,
If the chute's in the sun, will it heat up and heat the ice?
yes. So it comes through here, goes through here, and then it goes through these sorters that I have here, and it's controlled by that computer that I got hidden back there. I've shaded all this because this is where it slows down at and gets shot into the other rooms. And it goes into this room right here. The ice gets separated out, and it goes into this room right here.
Okay. I can't really play this game very well in third person.
Yeah,
So I
we
gotta.
gotta figure that out. Yeah. Let's see, Stationeers.
Alright, it might be on the internet somewhere.
How to exit third person. Shift plus scroll forward.
Okay. Oh yeah, they're right. That worked.
Perfect.
Alright, cool.
That's why the internet's awesome. There's some nerd out there that knows your problem and has already fixed it.
Yep. By spending several hours trying to figure out how to move the
Yep.
mouse.
That's why I try and anytime I can help, you know. So right now it's 0 kilopascals. So I've pulled a vacuum in here and it's no temperature because there's a complete vacuum. The reason there's a vacuum is I've got these vents all on suck, and this goes into my atmospheric system. So any ice that melts within this room comes over to here, gets sucked into that, and goes into my vacuum system that then sorts it out into those tanks. If it makes it through this and doesn't melt, because this is like back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, you know what I mean? If it makes it through all of this, then it ends up in one of those furnaces that you saw that were buried in the side of the wall. I'll show you just to make sure you know.
I don't remember those.
Yeah, I'll show you. I told you it was a failed experiment. It had a heater on the wall inside there.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I remember now.
yeah, that thing. Those pipes right there that we were just in there lead to those, and one is set to take hydrogen. So one of those conveyor systems in there was for hydrogen rocks, and it also has water in the same one, and the other one is set for oxygen. And so the hydrogen and oxygen will come through this line and melt inside of this because of the daylight and the heat outside, and the oxygen comes into this one and melts and gets sucked into this pipe, goes into you can follow this, goes boom, and then dumps into this pipe here. So
And then
that's why I dumped that one right there in front of the oxygen thing, because that's where the oxygen's going to get vented or get sucked up anyway. So it's a perfect spot to add it in. This one I brought all the way over here and put into its dump and into the start of the suction. That's the beginning, right before the hydrogen. That's why I put it in, because hydrogen and water are going to come out of this pipe. So any of the hydrogen will get caught here, any of the water will come down this pipe, go all the way to here, and get caught by this one. You can go ahead and pull that lever right there now. Everything inside that pipe is cold. So you
this
pull,
one.
yep, you pull that lever, it'll dump it into my system, and it'll recover any of the gases that I want, and it'll expel everything else. So that's doing that on its own right now.
So that's from the ice from the Amy.
No, that switch is actually from my furnace. That's an outlet from my furnace. This is my furnace output, this brown. The brown is like my hot gases from the end of the furnace reaction. Once I melt a bunch of ore or make you know, anything like that, it's all in here and it cools off with these radiators right here. And then
It
it
cools off
pipes.
that fast.
I usually give it about 15-20 minutes. I haven't used that thing since the last time we were on, so it's been cooled for quite a while now. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 radiators that I've got on this. I mean, I could add more. I could stretch this pipe out and keep adding radiators to it. That would, because this tank is the same pressure of these pipes, because there's no um, valves, there's no pressure pumps, there's no nothing in this line.
It's
So
just like basically an extension of the tank.
exactly. And once I put this switch, this valve in the way, boom, now this pipe is separate from that pipe. You get that? And then it
And
goes
then it
in.
does the thing where it goes through all the stuff.
Exactly. And it gets, I suck out the gases I want from that mix, and anything else gets expelled from this vent here, or any of these other vents. I've got all these vents hooked into the whole thing. So this is the beginning of the line. Vacuum starts here into this, and it gets, lets it pull as much air as it wants, because in this game, like this square right here is an atmospheric volume, and then this square is another atmospheric volume. So if you put too many of these vents in one atmospheric volume, you can only pull so much at one moment before the rest of the area around it fills that space back in. So this square here will start bleeding air into this square as soon as you start making this square lower pressure in the air. That's how the game works. It just, the squares is what it, works within.
Counts everything in a grid.
Exactly. So if you start sucking air out of this grid, it brings it lowers the pressure in this area, which then this grid starts feeding it, this grid starts feeding it, this one starts feeding it, you know what I mean? All the way around and above. So if you put too many vents in one spot, basically you get a low pressure and you can't get as much air as you want. That's why I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all spread out so that they can get air from different areas and it can pull as much as it wants. I put this many vents in because I was storing carbon dioxide at first, and I filled this tank up to 17 megapascals, and the pressure caps out at like 20. I think your pipes start blowing about 20. So I stopped it and turned it off because it's at 20 or it's at 17 or something. So there's a lot to learn in this damn thing. And this right here is set up so that if I put one of those big tanks on here, say I had a mix of gas that I wanted to get rid of, like inside I've got a little system set up that takes any poison that might get into the base or any flammables that might get into the base, and it sucks it and puts it into a bottle. If that bottle ever gets full or I just want to empty it, I can bring it and install it on this pad, and then this volume pump is set to 100 liters. So it'll basically vacuum suck that tank dry and shove it into my brown tank.
And then that'll go through all the tubes that go into all the tanks.
Exactly.
Okay. So everything with the gases revolves around this system right here, where it sorts it.
Exactly. And each pipe is its own unit. So like if you measured the pipe in between two valves, it has a number and it says pipe network 934 or whatever. So that pipe network has its own pressure from the pipe network below it or next to it. So anytime you put a valve or a switch or anything like that in the way, a pressure pump, it separates those two um, pipe networks within the game. So like this pipe network here would be named something different than this pipe network.
Um.
See, like
Okay.
this, like this pipe network here would be something called different than this pipe network because of
Even on
this
the
in
right is
between.
the valve,
Yep,
the
because that's in
pump.
between exactly the volume pump, and I got this set to 100 liters, so it sucks that bottle dry as fast as possible and shoves it all into this pipe. And this brown pipe actually leads under this wall back here, goes around and into the back of this unit right here. It's the exhaust from this unit from when I burn the fuels, when I mix stuff and I make stuff.
Can you make a cannon in this game where you have a really high pressure pipe and a low pressure pipe, and
Uh,
you?
Splitsy's actually been doing stuff like that for fun. Yeah, you can overpressurize something. They haven't actually made a rifle out of it, kind of thing yet, but they were talking about that. Yes, if you build walls, and you have what I was going to suggest is you build a square of steel, and then you pressurize the box inside, and you put an iron above it, so that the iron, when the iron breaks, it releases the pressure, so you can get really, really high, mega pressure until the iron block breaks, but the steel will still stay intact.
But if you had a tube there, it could push something out of a tube.
There's not really tubes except for these pipes, and you can't really put stuff in them. The
Ah,
only way to really build a tube would be to build like use squares or walls even, and then build a box, and then build another box on top of that, another box on top of that, until you built kind of a cannon type thing.
could you fit something in these conveyors or not conveyors?
No, they
Uh,
don't work like that when they're not. They don't work like that. No,
okay,
there's an input and an output on them, and it's just like computer code. It just goes in and out. It's not. There's
not
no
physical.
physics. Yeah, there's no physics inside. And this right here behind you on the wall, it's nice and well hidden. It's my solar daylight sensor.
Yep.
So it tells my system that's actually buried behind this wall now, and behind all this cladding, where the position of the sun is. And if you see those, if you watch those solar panels up top, they're slowly moving because they're moving to meet the sun.
I I do see that.
Yep, they're slowly moving because it's all telling it where the sun is, and then it multiplies, adds, divides, blah blah blah. You'll see it on the wiki there. There's a basic chip setup that'll logic gates, and you got to learn logic gates because it's the basis of all basic computing, logic gates, and it's how CPUs work. And this is like the base of how CPUs work. You know what I mean?
Does the daylight sensor also operate the lights?
So I've got that on a different sensor. Yes.
Okay.
So you've seen how these lights turn on and off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where I've hidden that at. I forget where I. Maybe it's right here. I forgot where I hid that sensor at actually, but yes, it's those lights are controlled. I'd have to tear the ceiling out to see where it all leads. I forget, but yeah, there's a solar that tells it when to turn on and off according to the sun's angle.
So do you have to tell the daylight sensor what side of the planet you're on, or like what your coordinates are?
No, if you hover over it, um, it's gives you three things. It's in mode default. It tells you the solar angle in degrees, and that there's no sunlight. It says question right now because there's no sun out. But it actually internally it's still giving a dimension. It's still giving an angle internally to the chips that are then following that back around. It basically those just followed the sun around the planet 90%. You know what I mean? Like, and now the sun's about to come up over that horizon. You can see it starting to come up right now. So it'll follow it back around again, and as it passes over the planet again, they'll slowly come back this way as it's on the opposite side of the planet until they meet it again to the sun when the sunrise hits over here.
You can see the sunrise.
Yep. Yeah, this game's pretty cool, especially if you got good graphics. It's not too bad. I mean, there's better graphics in a lot of games, but this one's got so much intricacy to the systems is what I like. I like the systems of it, the and the reality of the systems. Like the pressures are all right. The all the wiring can be blown out if you have too high a wattage. Um, you know what I mean? There's just
That
so
sun is
many.
going through a mountain
Yes, it is. That is definitely a graphical glitch.
or a very, very bright sun.
One of the two. That's gone Nova. That's all I can. Yeah.
But the solar panels are at like a 90-degree angle now. Perfect.
Yep, they line up
Panel
exactly
fixing.
with it every time, and they'll follow it the entire way. And if you look at these solar panels, there's different variables of solar panels. So you can put down, when you have a solar panel kit in your hand, if you use a scroll wheel, you'll go through different variables of the solar panel. The one I use is the one with a data output on one side and power on the other. You can get one with power and data combined, which I don't like to use because I like to run this line everywhere, the data line everywhere to all, because if you follow this data line, this actually connects every single panel that I have. Every single panel is on this same data line. And the power is separated onto different grids depending on where I want the power to be going. But that data line goes to the exact same place as every single one of these solar panels is controlled off that one set of chips.
This one's off.
Oh
This one
yeah.
is, yeah.
Yep. Yep. Let me come fix that. So what I've got is I've got a one-axis system, one axis. I don't know if I said that word came out correctly in my mouth, but so it only controls the tilt up and down that way. But the left and right motion I've got to set myself. So I've got these pedals on the bottom, left and right. You can change the degrees. They need to be set at 90 degrees because of where the sun's at. So that one I just messed up and had it 10 degrees off. I just fixed it. Now it's in line with everything else.
I just noticed everyone's using the jetpack. Yeah, it's good. There's a whole bunch of holes.
And yeah, that's all my mining. I've been doing all that mining. Where do you think all that ore came from, dude? It's from me and these
How'd you
holes.
how'd you mine in this game?
So okay, come onto the ground.
All right.
There's some copper. Let's find. Yeah, that works. That's fine. This copper will be fine. So, um, so that. Okay, so in your hard suit jetpack, you should have a mining belt. Drag that mining belt to where your tool belt is now in number 6. So Alt and drag it over.
Okay.
Okay, so now you see you've got a mining tool in there, mining drill.
I do not.
Oh, you don't have a mining drill in
Oh,
your belt.
you gave me one at the beginning. I do now.
Okay, good. This probably didn't have a battery in it, does it? Because I gave you one without a battery. Here, I'm just gonna give you mine. Put yours away and take this one.
Okay.
So, to turn any device on, you hit 0. Or, I'm sorry, O, not 0. Yep. Now, if you want to mine, left click. Yep.
Ah. Oh. Okay.
Now, you got a hard suit on, so you're kind of okay. I mean, you can't do crazy stuff, but you're better off in the original suit you came in. The original suit is flimsy at best. Now, let me show you a little trick. If you want to make nice flat areas, so find a spot that you want to stand on somewhere, somewhere, anywhere, doesn't matter. Anywhere you want to
Okay.
stand. Now click on your drill, now hold Alt and click on your drill that's in your hand. A box will pop up. Now it shows you the battery and then there's set default or set flatten. Hit
Mhm.
set flatten. Now wherever your feet are, that's the floor. It won't mine anywhere below that. So you can walk forward anywhere your feet are and it'll just mine directly in front of you and won't mine below you. It'll mine above you, but it won't mine below you. You gotta get a nice flat spot started and then just walk your way, walk any direction, and then now it won't go down anymore. It just makes a nice flat tunnel. But make sure if you're gonna go mining again, you turn that back off because you'll go trying to mine and it'll be like, hey, I can't, and then you realize it's on flatten.
All right. There's your tool.
There
Oh,
you
I
go.
left it on.
That's all right. Got it. So there's also this tool which you don't have. which I need to get you. That's called a terrain manipulator.
Does it manipulate terrain?
Yep. It does exactly what it says. You can actually put terrain down, so you could fill that hole
Yep.
back in.
Could you take it away with the same tool, or do you have to use the miner?
No, you have to use the miner. See, there's inside this tool is something called a dirt canister, and in your mining belt you have a spot for a dirt canister.
Yeah, I
Okay,
see it.
if you put a container like this in there, in that spot, when you go mining with your drill, it'll fill it up with dirt, and then you can in turn use that dirt to fill in a hole. Go ahead, use the tool. Try and use it for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, just build yourself a little ramp, or like, or a little spot above you. Use your jetpack and just build underneath you and keep building higher. You can build like a tower. You can do all kinds of crap with that thing.
How do I actually use it then?
I think
Oh,
it's.
I just threw it.
Oh, yep, just queued. I think it's left
Yep.
click. I'm pretty sure it's left click.
All right.
You gotta turn it on though. Gotta put O.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that.
Yep, there you go. And see how your canister is starting to run out of dirt as you build? You've only got
Hmm.
so much dirt in that canister. I've got 64 more if you want to play with it in this canister. And you just built an obelisk.
That was very, very fast.
I just built an Egyptian obelisk, dude.
Nice.
And put some crazy writing on it, and you can like worship the sun at
Yep.
that sucker.
Yep. Worship Raw.
Yeah, or tell the time of day, whatever is your pleasure. Oh, there we go. It's off. You gotta remember to turn tools off because your batteries are precious in the beginning. So when you first start the game, you only get small batteries, which will not last any time. They go quick. So just
So
keep that.
leaving tools off is a no good thing.
Yes, leaving a tool on you, and just in case you ever get into a scenario where it's like, oh crap, my battery's dead. I'm out mining. I'm in a hole and my battery's dead. I'm about to die. What you do is you take the battery out of your drill, you take the battery out of your tablet, you take the battery out of any of your other tools, and you can shove that in your suit, and you can continue to live. So that's a last ditch resort to keep living, is to take batteries out of your tools.
So you're talking about the life support battery?
Yep, you can take the battery out of your tools and replace your life support battery in your suit if you ever get into a situation where you're far away from home and you can't make it back in time before you're going to die.
Got it.
And you can see your obelisk from here. That's funny. So this is a rocket stand that you're standing on. This is a new thing they just introduced with the last update. I haven't played with it yet, but I can build a rocket bottom in here, a fuel tank, a storage stage, and then a capsule type. It gets all pretty tall, and then you can launch to space if you want. But you got to pipe fuel over here, which is why I have that big tank of fuel, because I was planning on fueling the rocket, and then boom, you know. But I haven't got that far on it. That's one of the other things I'm investigating, along with Amy, trying to make that work. And this is the auto miner, and you can see what it does. You know, makes a big
Yep.
old hole all the way down in that square, and then you destroy it, move it, do another big old hole all the way down, and then you destroy
Is
it,
that
move it.
magma?
Yes, it's lava, but you can touch it. It's not.
I don't really know what the difference is.
Yeah, you can touch it. It doesn't hurt you.
Oh, not very convincing lava.
Yeah, right. That's when I think originally it did hurt you, but I think they took it out. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm not sure about that. But yeah, that's what the auto miner does. It just one square right underneath it, all the way down, and puts all the materials into. I'll show you here. All the materials go and come out of this chute. Right now it's flashing an error. See how when you get up here eventually, try and figure out how to get out of that hole.
I got out, but I have to get down.
Oh yeah, overshot,
Alright.
huh? So over here it's flashing red and yellow. That means it's an error. It means it's basically it's done and it doesn't know what to do now. So there's nothing for it to do. But what I've been doing is I've just been extending this line here. I destroy this part, destroy the miner, move it to where I want, and then reconnect this to its output, because this is an output right here. I'll show you. Let me do that real quick. Change my tools.
Power and data.
There's
Those are
an
the two.
output coming off of that sucker, and it'll just shoot it onto the ground here if I don't have something connected. So that's why I connect these, that, and then I do that. And then that way it goes up through this chute system, goes into my sorting system, and goes into the smelter or wherever I want it to, depending on that sorting system I've already got set up.
Is there a reason that you still have this if you have an auto smelter?
This, funny about this is I actually had this destroyed and taken out. I actually rebuilt this because this is what I had. I had this in this exact spot, exactly like this. But I had already taken it out and gotten rid of it because I'd built in the other smelters deal and all that. Um, I got rid of it and then I rebuilt it because Splitsy on one of his streams was trying to figure out this programming of this and how to make this, and I basically just came in, put F2, and then took some screenshots of it for him and put it in his Discord for him so he could see it and maybe understand it a little bit so he could rebuild it, you know.
Is there a reason that the tube's this long?
I'm sitting here talking to you and my mic's closed.
Okay. I was about to say something in chat about that.
Yeah, no, I was sitting here looking at you going, hey, what are you doing? And I realized my mic's closed.
Oh.
I got people talking behind me, so I close it after I'm done talking.
Yep. Smart. Oh, there it goes.
See how it went up and down, up and down, up and down, then went into it, and then it turned on?
Yeah, but why does it have to go up and down? So
That's basically, I did that on purpose. The reason I did that is so that I don't have to stand here and feed this thing. I can throw 20 rocks at that, walk away, and by the time I come out, there'll be a pile of ore sitting here smelted.
that so they're like storage spots.
Exactly.
Oh, right.
It's a queue waiting to go into it.
Okay, that actually makes sense.
And I just did the up and out just so it was convenient up and out, so it was positioned nicely. That's all. That's the only reason the exit has a little bit of tube on it. Now, if you look, if this is real basic here. You can learn this one real quick, and this will give you an idea of what these logic things do. So you've got slot readers. Okay, you've got slot reader 1. Okay, if you hover over it, you can read their names. Slot reader 1, import occupied equals 1. Okay, slot reader 2, export occupied equals 0. Okay,
What does that mean?
So let's go back to 1. Okay, slot reader 1. So if you look at the screw there, the first screw on in is set to the arc furnace. So that's what it's reading. Its information is coming in from the arc furnace. It's reading slot. It's reading the import slot on the furnace. So you got to set it first for the arc furnace and then a slot on that thing. So the slot on the thing that we're watching is the import slot. And the variable we're watching is it occupied? There's multiple variables, there's multiple things you can flip through and use which one you want. So on this ship I put arc furnace, the import, and is it occupied? And this is telling me the import is occupied equals 1. Well, now it just went to 0 because the import wasn't occupied, and now it is again. Boom. So this thing is weird. The way their stuff works is so weird. It's I still don't understand 100% of it, but basically I've got this doing double duty. So whether the import or the export is occupied, it tells it to activate again. So every time it activates each time. So right now your import occupied 0, so it won't activate. If you look at the logic writer 1, state 0. So it's writing not to activate. It's telling it stay off because there's nothing in your slot. If that logic writer were to write state 1, then that would tell it to activate. And the only reason it would write state 1 is that the slot reader told it equal 1. And then the slot logic writer will write 1.
Okay.
You understand any of that?
No. No, not at all.
Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? Yeah, there's nothing in it. Pull out a pull. Okay, so take your tool belt and drag it back onto your waist.
Okay, it's
Okay.
back.
Now get your screwdriver out and put it in your hand.
Alright.
Okay. Now go to this slot right here and put your screwdriver on the in and mess with that screw. Left click it. Yep. Now you're on volume pump. Click it again. Now you're on slot reader
Slot
2.
2.
Yep. Logic writer 2. Now nothing. Area power control, and then you're back
Arc
to the
furnace.
arc furnace. So you're basically which object on the data line am I going to be looking at is what you're telling this thing.
Okay, that's what in means.
Exactly. Now that you've told it which one you want to control, which is the arc furnace, now you've told it, okay, I want to control the arc furnace. Now, which slot on the arc furnace, what are you looking to do on the arc furnace? So if you go through slots, click through slots. Import, export, import, export.
Import.
Those are the 2
Export.
slots.
Okay.
So now you set it to which slot you want to monitor. Okay. Slot
Which
reader
one's
1,
export?
yes.
Okay.
So you want to do import on this one.
Yep. Yeah, it's on import.
Okay. So now you want to go to the next one, the variable. What are you telling it?
Max quantity for export. Slot 2. In arc furnace. Okay. Damage for export. Class for export. What does class for export mean?
Class for, I don't know. I'm on damage right now. Mine must be off of yours. Damage. Oh, class. I don't know. Oh, that tells you, I think is what's in it, like what kind. Is it a ore? Is it a object? Is it a, you know, that's just one of the variables it can tell you.
Okay. Prefab hash.
Yep. Prefab hash is a hash number that describes a certain thing. So like, see, did you see on my arc furnace over there all the pretty pictures that were up for each of the ore? Remember when I was switching through it and you could see the ore change, which color each kind, you know?
Yes.
Okay, so that screen I set up because I have it reading the hash number of what ore I want to make. So a hash number just relates to an item within the game.
So I've heard of like a hash number when websites get um, hacked. They have all the information in hashes for passwords. You can brute force those hashes and get passwords from them.
Okay, yeah, I don't know nothing about that. I know all I know is it's basically a long number that tells it this exact item in within the game. Is basically what it is.
This is apparently different. Max quantity is probably what you want on, right? Because that's what it was on first.
No, I don't think it was max quantity. I think it was occupied.
Occupied? Okay.
Yeah.
Occupied, got it.
Okay. It says prefab hash to me. Huh. It says occupied to you?
Yep. Oh, I'll move it to whatever you. Okay, now what does it look like?
It says occupied now.
Okay, I'll leave it there. It says occupied hash to me.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, you know what? I don't have my screwdriver out, so let me pull my screwdriver out and look. Yeah. See, the green on your left is what it's actually set to, not the yellow that's in the big box.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Now it says cycle 2 occupant hash, and that's the next thing. If you click it again, the next thing you'll get is occupant hash.
So yeah, cycle 2 occupant hash.
Exactly. Now, if you press C, you go backwards in the list. You press C and then click on it, you go backwards in the list.
And then you can.
Well, like if you're flipping by a bunch of stuff and you go, oh crap, that was it. You don't want to have to go all the way back through the list by, so you just
Yeah,
press C and go back to,
yeah.
Kind of got all that in your head, like halfway.
Yeah, I understand it more now.
Okay, so now that you understand the slot reader, now it sends it over to the logic writer. Okay, so the logic writer gets so the in on the logic writer is slot reader 1. You see how that says that?
Slot reader 1.
So you go to come to
Yes.
the logic writer here and look at the in. Slot reader 1 is its
In.
in.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what we're reading. We're looking at the slot reader. We were just adjusting because that's what its name is over there. Its name is slot reader 1. So we're looking at this logic writer is looking at that slot reader. So that's all we've told it so far. By turning that switch, we've told it look at that thing. And so secondly, you go over to variable. Yep, you're flipping through them. Yep, there you go. So you know what you're doing now.
Okay, I missed it. There we go.
There you go. And then out is
To
to
the
the
arc
arc
furnace.
furnace. Exactly. So there you go.
And then the same on these two.
Yep, and it's the only difference is that's the output slot of the arc furnace rather than the input slot. And the reason I
Oh,
do that is there's something weird with the game where you could do it with just the 2 chips on the import slot, but once in a while, for some reason, the game like loses a tick, and then for some reason I come back and my ore's not refined and it's like hung up. So by doing it this way, it activates twice, and I've never had it stop on me. I don't know if that's the reason it doesn't work. I may be wrong, but that's my experience, and I could be completely 100,000% wrong on that.
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I've never played this game
Well,
for more than.
I'm just saying, in your future endeavors in this game, don't take my word as gospel, because I'm still learning too, bro.
It's bunny hop.
I think at this point you've learned more than Jeff, and you know a little more than how things work.
I haven't built anything yet. My dad's built stuff.
Yeah, that's no big deal. Want me to give you a bunch of squares? You can go build a little thing. Come with me. I'll give you a bunch of frames, and I'll show you how to build stuff, because that's something we haven't gone over yet. So, why am I stuck in that cabinet? Let's see here. So take those, and then we look for plates. That's
I'm
iron.
gonna put up. I'm gonna put up a copper ingot real quick.
Cool.
Copper. There it goes.
Bunch of iron. There we go. Steel sheets. So take those. You could drag that straight. If you look at that screwdriver, you could drag it straight to your toolbox. Or yeah, pick it up first if you want. But if it's in the world, you can also hold down Alt, and if you get a blue box around it, that means you can grab it and drag it.
Okay.
So put those steel sheets in your backpack.
Back 4. All right. Do I put the steel frames in there too?
No, steel frames in your hand.
All right. All right.
Okay. So with the steel frames in your hand, right click, and you'll get options.
Well. Okay.
And lay down. If you scroll wheel, goes through all the different options.
Steel frame, corner cut, corner side.
99.9% of what I put down is square. The first option, number one.
Okay. Steel frame.
Yep, there you go. Now, if you put those in your backpack and you take out the steel sheets and put them in its place, and then go and get your welder from your tool bag.
Oh, I remember some of this now from the tutorial levels.
Yep.
Welder, welding torch. This is the part I didn't understand. I had to hold down this. Maybe.
There you
Oh, I
go.
just turn on
There
the
you go.
welder.
I had my freaking, yeah, exactly. I had my mic closed. I was telling you, press O, press O.
I figured it out. All right.
So then you can put a box on top of it, side of it, left it, up, down, whatever you want, and build a pressurized space with it. There's doors that you can add on. There's rules to how the doors. Now press O to turn your welder off because you're wasting Jeff's
Oh,
gas. Yep.
yep.
That one's pretty precious. I can make you more, but in the beginning game, that's a no-no to leave that on. Because one, if you have your welding torch on inside an enclosed space, you now have to deal with the carbon dioxide and the gases that come off of that from the burn. So don't weld inside without one of my electric welders. See, because you've got that gas sucker. Here, check this thing out. That's a welder,
Arc
but with,
welder.
yep, but with no gas. You can keep it. I'll build myself another one.
Right.
And with
So,
that one, there is no O. It's just trigger fire.
huh. And it's got a giant battery in the back.
Yeah, I put a nuclear battery in it, so it should last a little while. And there's nuclear batteries inside the base, and there should be a couple on that wall that you saw. Yeah, just throw that sucker. Oh, you know what? I'll take it and I'll go put it on the wall in the cabinet.
All right.
And if for some reason you ever want to just blow stuff up, take a can of gas or a couple things of like hydrogen and oxygen ice, dump them in a room, and then take your welder in there and just turn it on.
Why would that blow something up?
Because if you bring in oxygen and hydrogen and they mix in the air and then you put a welding torch in the air,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, that makes sense.
you've basically just put natural gas in the air, you know?
Yeah.
And these are all my collection of parts and things. So if you're looking to build something, like, let's give you a door or something. Let you build a door next to that sucker. Like these are lockers. You might as well make a locker somewhere. That way you can see what it does. Doors. There's 2 doors. Now you can go build an airlock if you want. Just 2 doors on one on each side, separated by a block. And then we can go through the programming or how to wire the airlock if you want to. So out that block you built, I'd go build another block next to it. I should fill that damn hole in. So I'd build a block right where I'm standing.
Okay.
Right around the square I'm standing. And then you put a door here, and you put another door here. And then you can imagine this would be like your airlock into the base like I've built.
Okay, I go left click. There we go. Like that.
Yep, you can build 2 if you want. Doesn't have to be that big. You can do it 1 square. You want to learn how to take those extra 2 down?
I crowbar.
Nope. You gotta get out your grinder, and they'll take those down.
Ah, grinder.
And you know how to know that is hang any tool on it, and if it's the wrong tool, it'll tell you the correct tool to do either other job, build it or destroy it. So if you hold like a wrench to it, it'll tell you, oh, you need a welder to weld it, and you need a grinder to get rid of it.
Okay,
So
turned
right
off
there.
my tool this time.
Yep, good. I think that one's a push activate as well. I think that and the arc welder
Oh,
are the only push to activate.
maybe I did it wrong then. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
Whatever. So
the
I would
door.
leave that block open. I would not seal that block yet.
Okay.
Okay? To build your doors for now, and then we'll do that. Yeah, you can just throw it on the ground, man. That's what I do. You see all the crap everywhere? That's because that's exactly what I do. And I leave a pile of crap around, and then I've just got resources around me to use. Yep. So pull a
What
door
tools do I
out.
need? Outdoor.
Yep. Pull a
Take
door
door.
kit out, and then right-click it. And you're gonna want the connections on the door facing away from you right now.
All right.
You'll see what I mean when you try and place it. Yep, you did that.
All
Okay.
right.
Now come stand where I am, and you want the connections facing away from you again if you're pointing the way I am. So that you want them right now, if you're right where you're at, you want them pointing at you. Are they pointing at you?
Oh, they're not pointing at me.
Okay, so you want them pointing together. So all the connections are coming
Got it.
together within that square. You see how that pop up? Welding torch and 1 plastic sheet required to continue construction, wrench required to deconstruct.
Oh, yeah.
That
I just do that.
tells you everything right there. If you just hover,
Yep.
if you hover the wrong tool, it'll tell you the correct tool to do both jobs. I'm not going to be watching you for a second. I'm taking my headset with me, but I'm going inside for some water. But my headset's still on. I can hear you and talk to you still.
All right.
I'm just not going to be able to visually see what you're doing. The greatness of a wireless headset.
Oop. I just picked it up and dropped it again.
It's all
Let's
good.
see.
I do that too. I still do that to this day. My ice machine. Love it. lost you. I got too far away.
No, no, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Did you hear me at the ice machine?
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's good. It stretches that far.
Is it Bluetooth or what is the wireless connector to?
Yeah, it's Bluetooth on my back of my computer.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got the doors up and all the connections are pointing in.
Yep.
Okay. So why don't you put the tools away for now and put that stuff in your backpack, and we're gonna go look at one of mine so you can see what we're looking at. I gotta fill this hole in. Ah, okay, coming this way. That one's closed, so we'll go they're both closed the other direction. All right. I've got two airlocks into the base, just so you know, that one and that one. Nope, my mic was closed. I was sitting there talking to you for no reason. Um,
Yeah.
so we'll start with the piping first. This one here is the exterior vent, and it'll be labeled exterior or outward vent or something in the thing. And this is your interior vent, and you got to label all these things. Um, this is the labeler right there. And that's a very important tool. Turns on with O like everything else, and you can change the name of anything around you with it. So don't change anything in there, but you can come out here and like change the name of, this tank, or, you can label it fucking Andy's tank, whatever. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear at you.
Confirm. Its name is now Bob.
There you go. Have you read any of those books, or are you
Nope.
no? Yeah, I should buy you that stuff. I'm re-listening to it all on Audible right now. Cause
That's only way I'd be able to.
yeah, I can't read either. The fourth installment of the book is coming out, so on September 20th. So I'm waiting for that. So just like any tool, make sure you turn it off. Just want to drill that
Oh
into your
yeah.
head. Yeah,
Yep.
just
I
want to
did not turn that off.
drill that into your head because it is very important when you start a survival game the first time. Um, because you will die from lack of battery. End of story. You will die. Um,
I'll probably figure out the second time after I die the first time running out of battery.
exactly. Traumatic events seem to do that. Um, burn it into the brain kind of thing. So this vent is going to be labeled your outer vent. That one's going to be labeled your inner vent. And this pipe runs through this block, which is why I told you not to weld your block, because you got to run these pipes still. Okay.
Okay.
So this pipe corners down, goes into the block, comes out here, and this is the passive vent that it's hooked to. So you've got a vent with power on the inside that pushes the air out from here or sucks it in from here. This vent has no power, it's just a open hole, basically. Okay, and it's connected by pipe to that vent, which is the outside vent. Now the inner vent here does an into the wall, makes a left turn, and it goes to a vent that's right on the other side of this door, which goes into my base. So now you're taking
Uh,
pressure from inside from this vent and putting it into this cube before you open this door.
and you could tell which gas it is because there's an airlock gas sensor in here.
Exactly. And then I've got the flashy light and a couple other, so you got to wire obviously you can see the wiring now. All of it's
Yep.
wired together onto one loop, and these are the only things on that system. Well, I think this one's different because I think I got a couple bullshit things on this. But anyway, it should be the only things on the system. because you want a power supply on these. Normally what I do is like right here, I would mount one of those power boxes with a battery in it, and then the output from that battery would run right here and run this entire airlock, and there'd be an input to that battery from the rest of the base. The reason I do that is because no matter what happens in your base, your airlock always has power, which is a good thing.
Yep.
um, so now this device here is called a console. Now when you first get it, when you first put it up, it's going to look like this. You're going to put it up. Oh, I didn't grab it. You're going to put it up, and it's going to look like that. Okay, so you're gonna have it in your inventory. Right click it just like anything else you try to build. You're gonna put it that way so you can see the power port coming down, and you're gonna you're gonna put it down just like you have everything else. And then you're gonna take this thing and put it in. It's on the ground.
What
I put
is
it.
that thing?
That's a
Oh,
chip. You can look at it. Yeah, grab it.
okay.
It's an advanced airlock chip, and it's pre-written by the game coders to run an airlock. It just basically simplifies the airlock for you. It's automatic controls. So bam, you slam that in. Now you take a piece of glass and you finish it off.
Bam.
Bam. Okay, now this will not come up the first time you power up. It's going to come up with a, like error, blah, blah, error and config, yada, yada. Okay. So nothing's set up yet within inside it. There's nothing. It doesn't know what to do yet because it doesn't know what to control. What's what. So your names don't mean anything to it. Okay. So what you do is you find it. Where is it? I don't have it. Oh, there it is. Okay. You take this sucker. Oh, wrong hand. There you go.
Oh, I did that wrong.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, it just locked me out. It's all good. Wait till it cycles and then press it again and reopen my door. It's
All
all good.
right.
It'll take about 30 seconds to cycle and 30 seconds to get back out, so you got about a minute wait. But pick up that data disk that I threw down.
So I just plug it into the thing.
Yeah, but don't do it yet. Not while we're trying to get back in. Not while I'm trying to get back in. Don't put it in there yet.
All right. Cycle again.
Yep. And then once my door opens, then yes. Once the door opens and we're back together, then yes, put it in the slot on the side of that console.
Okay, I see the slot.
Okay. So go ahead and slam that sucker in. There you go. See? Now you've got a menu console. Now external pressure, I've got set to 1 kilopascal, which is Mars. Mars is 2 kilopascals, so I set it just below that, so it doesn't have to fill up all the way. The internal pressure I set at 100 because that's what my base is pressurized at. Okay? And then you go to these, okay, all these. This looks kind of weird right now because I've actually got these wall lights on the same circuit, which it shouldn't be normally. I wouldn't normally do that, but this is just how this one got wired. But if you click the button, the up and down here, you can scroll through the list. And see all these green ones are ones that I've already selected. So this means I've already assigned the sensor out. The big red is what this thing is looking for. So it's looking for a sensor, and I've assigned it to the airlock gas sensor. And it was looking for a flashing light for this airlock, and I assigned the flashing light to it. And it was looking for an interior active airlock vent, and I assigned active airlock vent interior that I named. And so that's why naming everything's important. So when you get to this menu, you know which one's which, so you can put the exterior on the exterior and the interior on the interior.
Or else you're just assigning random things.
Exactly. And it doesn't know. Now you're sucking air from outside to inside, and this it's all crazy because it's not working right because none of it's set up right. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So if you set those all up right, in to in, out to out, set the light, all that stuff, then after you're done setting all those, you pull the board out, you pull that thing out, and boom, you're back to that. Now it'll tell if you've done everything correctly. That's what it'll look like.
So you pulled the chip out,
I
right?
pulled the data disk out, yeah. So, and that's what it'll look like if you did everything right. So you kind of have that.
Yeah. I think I
Because that's the first thing you need to build. In order to build a greenhouse and grow your first food in a survival world, you have to know how to build this.
airlock. I'm going to try to build it.
Okay. So we've got parts. You've got all those cabinets full of parts, and I got stuff to build for you. I can build anything you want.
I definitely want to look at it first. Okay. So I want my vents here, which are going to run the pipes out to here. And then the internal vent is going to be here. Control panel there. Sensor there. Um,
Looking for an airlock, advanced airlock chip. I've got a basic airlock, but I'm looking for an advanced airlock one. Yeah, I'll need to build you one of those.
what's the difference in the advanced one and the basic one?
Um, I don't know. I've never built the other one. Um, I don't know, honestly. I've never built the other one.
Huh?
Never bothered. I always just built this one because I got the concept right away, and I just built it. And then I've always built that one. Well, I thought I said.
How would I place the active air vent before I before I weld up the walls?
No, see what I would do is I would place the pipes. See, that's the problem with this is that you can. What you want to do, it makes it floaty though. It's weird. It's one of those like you can't build it until you build it. So if you grab your sheets and you weld this wall up to one level, because there's two levels till sealed. If you weld it for a second, it'll weld to like cross hatches and almost full. If you weld it for another second, it'll weld it to fully sealed like these box below you. If you only weld it one level, then you'll be able to place stuff on it.
How fast is the arc welder?
Pretty quick, so you just have to like kind of tap it. You'll see it. There's a bar on your screen that tells you level 1, and then it'll go again for the second one. Didn't quite get it. There it is. That's level 1.
All right.
So now you can place your vents where you want them. But see, what you're going to have to do is, in order to get the pipes in there now, you've got to deconstruct that level 1. So you take your wrench and you take the sheet back out of it, and everything will stay hanging there.
Okay, so it's just gonna be real floaty with the vent.
Exactly. Until you build it all again and finish it off. That's the one thing I hate about it. But what I do to get around it is because I know how things fit now, I can just lay the pipes in mentally and know where they need to be, the in and out, and then I can place the vents after I've already welded the block. You know what I mean? Like I know ahead of time where I need the pipes now because I've built enough of them. Yep. See, you've got yep, you've got the pipe going up and the power going down. That's fine. That's perfect because you can route those. Yep. Yep.
And then I need. Wait, what tool deconstructs this?
Wrench.
Wrench.
Yep. And you also need a pipe for any of your wrench, or I'm sorry, you need a wrench for any of your pipe work. So if you're gonna change a pipe or move a pipe or change its direction or modify any pipe in any way, you need that wrench in your hand as well. You can place straight pieces and corners without having to have the wrench in your hand. But if you want to change anything, you got to have the wrench in your hand.
Okay, so the pipe goes through the top here.
Yep, that's why I liked how you placed them, because you can do a corner straight over through the block, and then you
Okay.
take it wherever you want. So if you, and then those variations are all the same thing on your mouse wheel. So right click and then you can mouse wheel through all the options.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Um. Okay. Okay.
You got school in the morning?
No, actually, it's
Oh,
still
it's
Friday.
Saturday, right? Yeah, that's right. I forgot it's Friday. Okay. I don't know, man. I only worked one day. Well, I only went to work one day this week. I did some phone work, but I've been off on time lately. So yeah, right click, put the corners down, going straight back behind those vents, and then you can go through the block. One going to your, I'm going to call this the internal space where I'm at, and I'm going to call this the external.
Okay.
I'm going to take some of the BS labor out of it for you and do some of this. This is just the stuff that don't matter, you know. I'm going to go get some more frames and just build you a little room in here so you can actually pressurize it. That way you can check that too, you know.
Like, will this piece just stay here?
Let me see what piece I'm coming at you. What piece?
Will the steel frame stay, or will the vent stay there if I take out the steel frame?
Yes, it'll be floaty like that. But why you want to take out the steel frame?
Because I can't put the pipes in yet through
Yeah,
the steel frame.
yes, you can. You have to be able to. Absolutely, you can. Let me confirm it for you. Throw the pipes down, and I'll do one.
All right. E Q.
Q. Yeah.
Not an EQ, but E and Q.
I found a
In
really
there.
cool program I use now talking about EQ. Um, it's called Voice Meter Banana. I think is what it's called. Um, but it gives you in and out ports virtually, and that's what I'm using for all my stuff now. Okay, see how I did there?
Yep.
So right click to, and then you scroll wheel to find what you want. Get it in the, because within these squares, there's other tiny squares where these can place. So think of the square as divided into a bunch of other squares that can be placed. Like if you're thinking about space engineers, you've got large grid, small grid. That's
Mm-hmm.
basically like small grid inside this large grid. You know,
So you can actually build small grid on large grid objects.
kind of, yeah. I mean, it's not the same thing because that's a whole. I mean, no, but yes. So take those pipes back and continue your pipe work.
Oh, yep.
I threw them on the
Uh,
ground there for you.
I need the wrench, right, for pipes?
If you want to change anything, you don't have to have the wrench out if you're putting down straight pipes or just that. If you want to add a corner into a straight pipe that you've already laid, then you'd have to have your wrench out. If you want to remove a pipe that you laid, then you got to have your wrench out.
Got it. I need to. Yeah, I needed to make it straight anyway, so I would have had to have the.
No, what I mean by change is like say you put a bunch of flat pipes here. It's like say you went straight from here. and then you want it, oh wait, you know what, I want a corner instead of that flat one here because I want to put 2 vents. Then you can just overlay a corner on it and then click, and it'll put the corner in. It'll make the 3rd outlet without having to remove it and then choose that from the scroll wheel options. Yep.
I don't know what that meant.
Gotcha. No worries. I'm gonna go get some demonstration tools. I'll be right back.
Okay.
When you're done with your train of thought on that, what you're doing, come look over here. I want to interrupt what you're doing.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so see how I've just placed 2 straight pipes here?
Mhm.
Now, say I wanted to put a vent on one, here, and I wanted a second vent going that way, but I already laid this pipe in. What I can do is lay the straight pipe over the top of what I've already laid, and then scroll wheel backwards 1. Okay, and then I can press C until I get it the direction that I want. Yellow means that you're connected, by the way. And if I hold it over it like that and then hold down, I've now changed that to a T without having to remove it and then make it a T.
Oh,
And that's only possible with the wrench in your hand.
wait. So how do I do that?
So grab, okay, so try and on this one here, on this side here,
Yep.
try and, oh, you know what? It's easier. Get a flat, straight pipe, okay? Get a straight pipe and put it on this T,
Okay.
okay? Now make it go this way. Okay, is it floating
Uh,
above? Is it floating in that, but shooting out this way as a hologram? In line with this little one I added, but coming my direction. So in line that way. If you want to press C, it rotates. Oh, see how you just made that? You just added that
yep.
to that. But what you can do is you can change this part right here by adding a flat straight. So go back to your straight mouse wheel to just a flat straight piece.
Okay.
And then add it right here on top of the T. I just put it on top of that T and add it, and just left click and add it. Yeah, but you wanted to see it. You wanted to go see the other direction. Yeah, see how you just added that to it?
Yeah.
Yep. So you can change the pipe that you've already laid by overlaying what you want to put in. So if you want to make a left turn, you you mouse click or you mouse scroll down till you get to the 90-degree elbow, and you point the elbow the direction you want, and then you add the turn in, and that's it. Boom, it's there. It's added. So put your wrench in your hand and click all those pipes, and you can pull them all up.
Oh, okay.
I think it's right. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Boom. Now you got them all in your hand. Okay, so now one of the things I'm seeing you do right now is one of these has to go to the exterior because it needs to deal with outside air.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
and then one of them needs to go inside this pressurized space that's going to be here. So that's basically going to give you a 2 block pressurized space. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change this up and I'm going to make it. I'm going to do something. You understand the squares already, so I don't need to show you those anymore. I'm going to show you something else. I'll leave the square you're standing in, and that's it. And then you can run your, yep, you can run your vent on this square and put it out into, this is going to be the pressurized area right where I'm standing. And I need walls. We'll get some walls.
Walls?
Yep, I'll show you in a
Have
second.
some in inventory.
Oh, you have walls? Okay. Do you have glass with you?
No, I have steel frames and steel sheets.
Copy that. I'll bring in glass. The walls and glass will be perfect. Let's get rid of these. Get rid of those. Get rid of those. You don't need those anymore. So yeah. So perfect. You've got that pipe leading out to here. So what you want to do is you've already done this, so I'm just going to go ahead and speed it up by doing it for you. Pull that out. Oop, I picked up those for some damn reason.
I accidentally threw them out in the middle of nowhere.
Oops. And I do that all the time, dude. What do I do? What did I do? Why did I do that for? Let's see. Where is my welder? Oh, I gave it to you. That's right.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go get your gas welder. You keep that.
Oh, okay. I forgot to pick it up. It's there goes number.
Okay. So I went and got your gas welder here, and need some sheets. And go ahead and weld this sucker up one level. Okay. So now you can place your vent where you want it, but see that pipe's not going to work how you have it. So you're going to have to place your vent and then make your pipe come to where you want your vent.
Okay. That is true. It's not gonna work there.
Uh-huh. I already knew that, but I just let you do it so you could, see it. See, that's too far away from the wall. See what I
Yeah.
mean? What I would do is I would place your vent first and then make it fit to your vent. That's the best way to do it. And
All right.
remember, you're just doing oh, we don't have passive vents, do you? You don't think you have passive vents. You already
Oh
used these.
yeah. I used both of them.
Yep, I gotta go get passive vents because you need
I used
active
active
vents inside and you need
and
passive
passive
vents
vents.
on the outside. Remember how the other one was? So I'll
Yep.
go make a couple of those because I don't think I have any made. You want to come see how they're made too? Like you haven't seen any of that too, like how to go through
Nope.
those menus. So I've got this on a special IC chip that turns everything off after I use it. So everything I come up to is off. So what you want to do is hit the power switch. Okay, I had it made it green. That whole screen comes up, and then I hit the little search thing there. And the search thing lets you go through what everything this can build. And then up top you can just type in vent, VEN, and you get kit active vent and kit passive vent. Click on passive vent, and then it comes up in that little picture box there. This is the upgraded version of the printer, so you won't have this in the very first run through. Um, so if you hover over this, it tells you need 3 grams of iron to make one. So I need this iron right there. It's in this stack. I already have it. No worries, I got it. It was sitting right here in this stack.
Oh. Oh
Shove
yeah. I
it.
see him.
You shove it in this hole right here, and then now it's inside the machine. So if you press that button that has the cast vent on it, you'll start making them. You see which button I'm talking about? On the front of the machine
Uh.
there? It says build kit passive vent.
Yes, I do see that now.
Yep. Left click it and it'll start building.
Okay.
Now, if
Cool.
you want to stop it, you left click it again. But you want to build at least 2. And you built 2. Now let's make it 3. Yep, and he stopped it. Perfect. Now I've got it all in stackers. That's a stacker you're looking at. So what it does is normally these things will just spit them out one at a time. But what I've done is I've piped it to that stacker, so it puts them in as large a stacks as it'll allow. There's a lever on the side. Go ahead and pull that lever, and it'll spin. There you go. Pops it out for you. All right.
Was that it?
Yep, you got them in your hand.
Oh, it's yeah. Okay, I see it now.
Yep. Let's go on back. I think this way's better. It doesn't have that big gaping hole that I need to fill in.
I like to jump over it.
Yeah, I get you. So yeah, now place your vent for the interior. So this is your interior space. And you're eventually going to have to label all this and wire it. And so there's multiple layers. Now you're doing the piping. And see, now that's not going to be against the wall. I hate that, but that's up to you. You know, you could do that, but, you know.
How?
Okay, that was a way optical illusion for me. From my angle, it looked like it was on the end of that pipe. I was tripping from my angle. Whoa. Okay, so yeah, you're fine. Now that vent is on the wall. You're good. Never mind. Ignore me. Run the hose the way you want. You're good.
All right. I'm going to. Is it grinder or is it wrench? Wrench
Uh,
required.
wrench for both. Wrench for the cube and wrench for the pipes.
Okay.
If you leave
And
your
that's
other hand empty, you'll gather the parts as you disconnect them. Because right now that's kind of like glitched in the wall. And
yep.
it's kind of being weird. So.
Pipes. All right. So I need to move the.
Yep, there you go. Perfect. You gonna move it over to there, or are you gonna go? What I would do personally is I would take the pipe all the way back to here, and then start your turn earlier.
Yeah, I could do that.
That'll save you pipe as well, because in the early game you're always worried about resources. I mean, you've got everything you want right now handed to you, because I've already done all the mining. You won't have that in the beginning game when you start your own survival the first time. Every single piece of pipe is precious. Like you're on the right track. You got it. See, now in very early game, next time I wouldn't want you to rebuild it now because you're already there. You got a working system. But I would have turn, come straight down, over and up. It would have been like probably what, 6 pieces of pipe. Wow, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, something like 8 pieces of pipe. But see all this extra pipe here that could have been saved
Yeah.
on the, you know what I mean? So that's just something to think about when you do your own survival start, so that you're not wasting a bunch of stuff. Because, like I said, every gram of iron is a slog sometimes, because you got to go out for the whole day and mine and come back with a bunch and refine it, and you know.
Alright, now I gotta put the vent on the other side too. Oh yeah, I forgot. We look so good this way.
So anywhere out here is exterior, so you can run it to anywhere you want. Honestly, even straight up, you could mount that vent straight up in the air right now, and it would work because it would be outside the pressurized area.
Alright.
Do you want me to put one stage of welding on it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
I got your thing. I got all your steel sheets, so that's why I just said I'll do it real quick. I already know you know how to do that, so I'm not worried about you learning that.
We got the most optimal pipe saver thing, and then got the exact opposite.
Pretty much, pretty much. Now, one thing you've got to be worried about in other environments, Mars is not a big deal, but if you need volume, so like, how do I explain that? This little piece of pipe will only hold so much atmosphere. If there comes a situation where you need some stored atmosphere, you can either put a back and forth piece of pipe, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then connect the vent. And that way there's pressurized environment ready to go into that vent. You know what I mean? Like there's situations on other planets where you have pressure outside, or it's super cold, or it's super hot, like the Vulcan planet, or you know what I mean. There's other reasons to need that. So just for future reference in your mind, if you need more space in the pipe, just run it back and forth. Or you can do a container system, which I can show you later. That's more intense. That's more involved. But if you just run pieces of pipe, each piece of pipe has its own amount of volume.
Do you know how much that is?
No freaking clue.
Okay, probably on the wiki.
It's probably in the wiki, you're right. That's, sometimes I usually roll with the wiki up right now, but I got a couple other windows going.
I've got it right in this window.
So, but yeah, that looks done to me. I don't think you need anything more as far as venting goes. Venting is good. So I'm going to go ahead and weld all this up for you because you need these sealed now.
What about wire?
Yep, no problem. We're going to do wire on places that you can see. All the wiring is going to be on this wall, this floor, this wall, and we don't need to do a light. I'm not going to do a light because I don't want to put a block up here to put it on, and they don't. I guess I could probably do a wall. A wall would work. You got those walls in your inventory?
Yes.
A wall
No.
used. The reason I question it is because a wall used to not work. Um, a wall didn't have any attachment points, and they just recently changed it to where walls now do have attachment points. So that was steel sheet. Do you have anything labeled wall kit?
Nope. Oh wait. I have kit locker. No, I don't have any wall kits.
Okay. You can right click on that kit locker and put those down anywhere you want. Now, the thing with kit locker is one, if you have one in your inventory, you can only make the tiny, small, looks like a high school locker. If you have 2 in your inventory, you can scroll wheel and you can build the big one. Exactly,
Yeah,
just
like
like you
this
did.
one.
Exactly. So I just want to make sure you knew that. If you had 2 in your inventory, you can build that. If you only had 1 in your inventory, it wouldn't let you place it. So you're going to need those 2 parts too, so you might as well put them in your inventory.
Yep.
What did we come back here for?
I
Wall
don't remember.
kits. Wall kits.
Walk. Yep. What is this thing? This is sensor.
Yep. Okay. And also go to that wall over there and grab one of those nuclear batteries for your power thingy. That wall over there. Remember all the batteries over here? Make sure you grab a
Oh,
nuclear one.
see it.
Make sure you grab the nuclear one.
Battery cell charger.
Yeah. You were looking at the right thing. Yeah,
Oh,
right there. Those
shit.
batteries that are in there. Yeah, each one is there's a small. I think there's a small, there's a large, and then there's 2 nuclears. Yeah, you grabbed a nuclear. Okay. So then come back
I
over
saw it
here.
on the top.
We'll look at this sucker. So when I came up to it, it was off. You flip the red switch there, it'll turn it on. I want you to do this
All
because I
right.
want you to know how to use these machines. So the interface will be a little bit different on the Mark 1 version. This is a Mark 2 version that I upgraded, so you'll see that later in the game. So hit the search thingy,
Okay.
and then you want to find kit wall. Not padded wall, not none of that, just kit wall. I think it's just kit wall. I think it's kit wall. Now I gotta go to the wiki, make sure I'm telling you the right thing.
I am stuck.
Kit flat wall. Use your jetpack. It'll get you out of most.
I was in chat.
Ah, okay. Hit enter, gotta get out of that. I, kit window? Hold on, let me look for this.
Yeah, kit flat wall the thing.
Hold on, don't build that yet. I think it's
All right.
yeah, construction kit walls is used to build 3 different types of walls in the game: composite walls and composite windows. And it says railings, but I think that's no longer the case. They moved railings to its own thing. So yeah, you want to build construction kit walls. So look for that in there. Yeah, the one that just says kit wall. See how it
Oh,
just turned off? That's my timer. My timer turns these machines off if I haven't done something within like 60 seconds so that I don't waste
got
power.
it.
That's just a power saving feature. It's late game stuff. I'll show you later.
You can add. You can search before it's even booted up.
Yes, that's
That's
just a
pretty
screen
cool.
coming online, yeah.
So I'm looking for what?
Just says kit wall. Not
Wall.
padded, yeah, not padded wall, not, none of those, just kit wall. Uh-oh,
Not flat wall.
about that time, huh?
Yeah. It's 12, almost 1 o'clock for me apparently.
Oh, jeez. What time? You supposed to be in bed? You should go to bed if you're supposed to be in bed, dude.
Um. Well, it's the weekend. Usually, I don't have a bedtime on the weekend, but I am
All right.
tired.
All right, cool. Well, whatever, whenever you want to go, it's up to you. I just don't want to be past your bedtime and you get in trouble or something.
Yeah, it's usually 10 on weekdays.
Okay.
Okay,
So
metric wall.
if you go to the top, you can type in WAL, and then you'll come up with all the walls.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, there you go. See that?
Kit wall.
hmm And then hit build on the front of the machine. Now I've got this chip. Remember how I told you I got the chip that turns all this stuff on and off for me? The chip also does something special, just so you know, for later game, is whatever this stacker is set to. So whatever the stack size is, right now it's set to 350. So if I just walked away, that chip would ensure that only 350 were made because this stacker is set to 350.
Ah,
So like if you want to make a bunch of cable, you could set this stacker to 200 cable, and then that machine would produce 200 cable if you had the resources to produce 200 cable. And there's your walls. Only 3 came out. Did you turn it off for some reason, or?
no, I just intentionally did that.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know how much we needed. I didn't want to make a whole bunch of.
Oh, it don't matter. They're only 3 grams of iron. I got friggin' a ton and a half over there. I've probably got 2,000 iron sitting on the wall over there, ready to go into whatever I need. Because you're gonna need a few, and I think I got grabbed glass, right? Yeah, I got 24 glass on me, so we're good there. You're gonna need this in your inventory.
All right.
So go ahead and stop that now. We got plenty, and then dump the contents and grab them. And because that chip's so cool, you can just walk away from this, and it'll power down in 30 seconds. So build yourself an interior space, okay? Whatever you want off of this wall here, you can come out here, you can go over here and come back to this, whatever you want, just build yourself an interior, and by my right click and then press C changes it around options of the box. So hit C over and over again, it goes up, down, left, right, sideways, up, down, it changes all the different directions you can put it. There you go. Yep, you got it. And you can also place the roof panels that way and make those glass as well. So if you press C enough times, it'll go up top and be a roof panel.
See. Oh, yep.
Oh, I think you need plastic too. I'm gonna go grab some plastic
Okay.
sheets. Okay. I would get rid of that last one because it serves no purpose.
It uses. What does it use to deconstruct? I'm gonna put the wrong tool in my hand.
Angle grinder. If you
Okay.
hover over it, you'll see it. Angle grinder or plastic sheets to continue construction. There
Oh,
you go. You leave it on the ground. Who cares? Moving
all right.
on. So now you hold on. Now you hover over it. It says you need 1 plastic sheet required per each one to continue the construction. So you want to get that grinder out of your hand and put plastic sheets in it, and then right click on each window. Top, bottom, left, right, everywhere. And I think you missed one hole right here. Oh, you know what? Wait. Which window did you place? Oh, did you place window? You did place window. Good. Not composite wall. You did place window. Sweet. Because there's a scroll wheel and you can,
Oh,
yeah.
no, I did place composite wall.
No, they're composite windows.
Oh,
You did it
yeah,
by
you're right.
accident or not, but they're composite windows, so they're perfect. That's what you wanted. And you got to place one more right here above me.
I'm gonna fill all these up with
Absolutely, dude.
this
Do it at your
stuff,
pace, whatever you need to do. I
and
just
then
letting you know, giving you heads. And you missed 1, 2 over here.
what am I using to fill these in again? They are
Kit window.
kit window.
Kit composite window is what the one you want to place there.
Oh, I think it drops on the ground over here.
Oh, you
Yep.
dropped the whole stack. Okay, I thought it was just one.
Oh, I
Okay.
guess it is just one.
Well, you should have some more in your inventory. We made like 20 something, right? Or did you run out? Is it the last one?
I think it's the last one.
Okay. So place a window here. I need to go make one more because we're going to need one more eventually. So go ahead and place
Alright.
that window. Yep. I'm going to go make one more and I'll be back. And the next step on all those is going around with glass and putting glass into each of them. Really
Ooh, I
simple.
did that backwards. And I don't want to look at a backwards window.
I get that. I get that petty too. That, oh no, I did that backwards. Take it all apart. Start over. That looks terrible. It's like when when he said, hey, I want to come join your game and see what's going on, and I was like, oh god, I think I need to like spend an hour and clean up first. Hold on. I didn't,
Um,
I kind of did, but I didn't really like spend a bunch of time cleaning up. But that's kind of how you feel because it's like, letting someone into your dirty house, all your crap laying around. So you don't need the grinder. You want glass in your hand. Oh, you're trying to get rid of it. Never mind. Never mind.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, never mind.
I can't figure out how to do it though.
Um, so you've already put plastic in it, right?
Yep.
Okay, so hover over it. You see a little white dot in the center of your field of view?
Yep.
If you hover on that piece, the little box comes up. Composite window. 1x glass sheet required to continue construction. Crowbar required material.
Crowbar.
There you go. See that?
Yeah, I saw it. I just didn't.
There you go. I'm just
I
trying
just
to.
thought it was still there.
You gotta
Uh,
keep. Sometimes you gotta repeat things 3 or 4 times before they sink in. Like that's just normal learning. And now you need the grinder to get the rest of it. Yep. So there's stages to each build, and you've got to use the corresponding tool to that stage.
okay. There we go.
All right. A plastic sheet.
And then glass.
Yep. You're doing it. Perfect. And now, something you should know about all this. By enclosing this with glass, you're now letting sunlight in, which lets heat in, and you're putting it inside of a contained bottle. So you're now containing heat inside this contained bottle.
Which
So
means pressure.
it will end up overheating and overpressuring once you have gases in there that you've trapped. Because right now it's only 2 kilopascals. It's Mars pressure, so it's a really low pressure. It'd take a lot to, and don't forget the sealing on all that glass.
Yep. Maybe kind of useless if you had a leak in your ceiling.
Exactly. Uh, you're joining the game when it actually has the chicken wire built into here. Beforehand, you had to like, is there a glare? I don't know. Did I put glass in? Is there a glare? You had to like kind of go
Try
back
jump
and
through it.
forth. Yeah, or jump through it exactly, and you couldn't tell if the glass was there. But they've done a few improvements and things like that, and to make it easier to know for sure you've got things done. So now, okay, Golden, you've got your greenhouse. This is where you'll
All right.
build. This is where you'll grow your first food. Um, but you got to finish the airlock here now.
All
But
right.
so your airlock has a giant hole in the roof. You have one more of those kit walls. I got them right there. I
Um.
just threw them down, didn't you?
Oh,
I,
okay.
I forgot I picked them up. Now don't put a window up there. I would just put a composite wall, not window.
Plastic sheets. Hmm. I don't know what I'm doing. Uh.
What's wrong? Oh, okay, so you need the wall kit in one hand and right click,
Oh,
and then
maybe I didn't put the wall down at all. No, I did.
oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, but I can't figure out how to put the. Oh, I
It
figured it out.
it gets tricky. You got to barely touch the corner, like edge of it, otherwise it doesn't register that you're touching it. So yeah, one plastic sheet required to continue construction. You can just, click on it like you've been building everything else.
How do I scroll through?
What are you trying to scroll through?
Make it not a composite window, but a composite wall.
That had to have happened already when you placed down the wall. So what you need to do if you wanted to make it a wall now, you have to
Oh,
take your
okay.
grinder out, get rid of it, and then make it a wall before you place it.
Yep. Grinder.
So make sure you look through your scroll options before you actually place it to make sure you're placing a composite wall, not a composite window.
Okay.
You can see the difference already, right? Easy to
Yeah.
see. Plastic sheets and that wall's done.
Cool.
So now you want to lay out your power. You remember, do you want to go look at that airlock again just to get a reference to make sure you're,
Yeah.
you know, okay. Because we did the air part first, you know what I mean? Like that's one of those one system at a time kind of things. Ah, and you jump right over the top of me. We're not going to worry about the flashing light for you. It's not necessary, but it's just an added feature. I mean, you can always add it, but it's just one more click on the little thing, and you add your whole thing together. So basically, you just need power in. So anything from this point down here and up is what you need to worry about. That is your power in down here. So don't think about that. That's your think of this as being your battery thing that I gave you. You're gonna put your battery thing right there, and then everything feeds out of it.
Do these little control things, are they in the airlock built in, or do you have to add them?
No, they're built into those airlocks. So once you finish those doors, they're built in. They're sitting there. So maybe you want to go finish those doors first, so you see all that.
Okay. What do I need to finish the doors?
I believe that's plastic and glass. I think you have it all.
Yeah, I do. Okay.
You might need a steel sheet. I'm not sure on those variations of the doors because there's a couple few different doors. I'm not sure which ones I gave you. There you go, dude. On it.
Alright. Glass.
I'm gonna stop giving you as many prompts, but you need to make sure you read what's going on because you don't have the proper tool. I'm gonna stop giving you as many directions because I want you to kind of read the prompts and remember them because that way you don't go into a survival world and die.
Yep.
And now you can crowbar the door open as well. Yep, there you go. Now you can see all your inputs and outputs.
Does that hurt the door whenever you force it?
Yeah, but once you have it controlled by that chip, you can no longer force it open. Its bolts are engaged, is what it says, because it's being controlled by the circuit.
Alright, cool. Well, I want to have it on then. Um, how do I get wire? How does the wire work in this game?
Okay, so you've got a wire cutter in your toolbox, in your tool bag,
Yes.
and there's 50 wire for you. So
Oh,
you
it's
want
just
you want wire cutters in one hand, and you want wire in the other. And now that lays out just like the pipe laid out. You got straight pieces, you got corners, you got 5-way corners, you got 6-way corners, you got turns, you got every damn direction you can ever want. But make sure you place the right ones because you don't want electrical wires running off into a wall that have nowhere to go. So place a flat. Yeah, exactly. There you go. What I would do is place that console directly in the center of that block. Remember that console I gave you that you picked up over there? Or do you
No,
have one? Was that? I don't know if I made that for you. If you got that.
is it the kit power controller?
No, we'll put that elsewhere. No, I don't think I have a console built for you. I think I gotta go find a console and build it for you. Oh, because I also need the advanced airlock chip I gotta build you. Okay, I got the console, the airlock chip, and glass. Okay, coming back to you. I think I got everything I need.
All right.
There you, there you go. Now let's, yeah, you got her.
Okay. I need to pick this up.
Remember, oh, you don't have a backpack anymore. That's right. I forgot about that. Remember I told you about the pipes? Oh, see that center one you made right there? Okay, I just noticed this. See this one? Oh, all these. So that's what I said about not making things that go into nowhere. If you were to take apart this block right now, you have wires going straight into the block. What you've created is, I think, well, let me get the tool out. It's a six-way? Yeah, five-way junction. So you've got a five-way junction there when all you need is a center one
Four.
should be a three-way.
Okay.
So click that, get rid of it, and then put a three-way. So you want to see on your bar three-way before you say it down and make sure it's yellow. So that, well, you don't really need to go down. So you, yeah, you just got to go up. So to place the console. Perfect. Now this one over here is also a five-way junction. It's going into the wall. And you wasted a bunch of wire going into the wall as well, because I think you used like 4 or 5 pieces of copper at that point too.
Boom.
Yep, there you go. And then you can put another three-way.
Okay. And then I'm gonna need that panel there.
Yep, you can put that console right in the center. You mind if I put this whole thing on YouTube and call it Stationeers Training Day?
No.
I don't know if I told you, but I was recording it just for my own personal. I got a long recording of this the whole time we've been playing.
Okay.
I'll ask Jeff first as well. I won't do anything like that without asking, you know.
All right. I I think he'd be the only person I would mind,
That's exactly why I'm going to
if
ask him.
anyone would. All right. Ooh, I need that. No, I'm just gonna wait till I have to boot it up.
You still need power. You got to add your sensor. You got to wire the rest of the
Yep.
doors. You still got to get a
Sensor.
data in this door, data in the other door.
Yeah. What do I connect data to?
Part of that same wire system. If you go over and look at my airlock, those are just three-way connections to it. It's just the same wire. See,
Okay.
data and power are on the same wire at all times. The only way to separate data out of the wire is by putting one of those power control units that you have in your hand. The power control unit separates data out of the entire thing. So basically you get different serial networks. So you have different networks that you're working on. You understand that, or you want me to explain a little more?
I think I understand it.
Yeah, because there's also another way to break that data connection. It's a transformer. If you put a power transformer in the middle of the line, the power transformer does not transfer data from one side of the transformer to the other. So anything beyond the transformer does not have any data connected to it. It's a whole separate data system at that point. If you start adding chips on that side, nothing from the other side of the transformer will register on those chips. Well, damn, I think you're close. All you need to do is place the sensor, and then we've got to run one wire for the power input. So
Can the sensor go anywhere?
I would put the sensor right dead center in the floor, or maybe to the left and come out of one of the data ports or power ports on the door. That way you just got to add one more piece of wire, and you've got your sensor in line. I would do it on the other side because I plan on running a wire up that wall to get your power. So I would do it exactly the same spot, but other side. Sorry, I'm not being clear enough. When I mean other side, I mean towards the console.
Towards the console. Oh, okay, yeah. That makes yeah.
And I am at 10% burger, as Catback calls it. I am 10% hungry. I should probably get some food soon.
Oh,
Now, same applies with that sensor. There's different models of sensor. So put it where you want it, and then start switching through the sensors by your mouse scroll wheel, just like everything else.
gas sensor, right?
Yes, that's the one you want. 'Cause I think there's daylight sensor, there's gas, there's maybe one, might be one more.
All right.
All right, so that is your system right there. That is everything you need connected. The only other thing you could connect if you want is the light. I mean, the little flashy light that spins,
Yeah.
but whatever. So what I would do is I would run one wire, probably the one you're standing on, and run it up the wall and make a turn because you're going to place that power box dead center of that wall. I would place the power box first so you can see the ins and outs on the power box. Let me see if that's the right way around. I took that off. That is the input. So yeah, that's perfect. So off the left side of that, go with a 90-degree down and then reconnect it into all your whole system. And that'll be your power in to your entire airlock. Too early on the 90. You want to go on the other side of the box. So you want to keep going straight up and then go into that side of the box. Yeah, because that's the if you hover over that with your white little dot, one side is a power and data input, and one side is the power output.
This side's the output of.
Okay? Yes, you're outputting from this box to your airlock.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it now.
Okay, now get a crowbar in your hand and open that box up. If you use a crowbar, it'll open right up. There you go. Now, everything's upside down, but it's not a problem. That's the way you had to place it for the direction of power you wanted. Put that nuclear battery in it, and then you can flip the switch and your airlock will work. Ideally, you want to run this to solar panels and a battery and all that stuff and the whole power system, but right now you've got a nuclear battery, so everything will come on. Normally, you want to do that with, yeah. Do I have that data disk on me? Do you have that data disk?
The data disk? No, I don't.
Maybe I must have put it in the cabinets. Um, So yeah, see how, okay, one more thing to show you this. See how this power box is blue and red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red? The
Yep.
blue means that it has power. The red means that it's not receiving. Okay? Now, the other thing it flashes is blue, green, blue, green, blue, green. Blue means that it has power again. Green means that it's charging. Okay? And a solid color just means that it's steady state. It's getting power in and putting it out at the same rate. The battery is fully charged. So if it's flashing, it's either charging or discharging. And red and blue is discharging, and red and I just said it. Yeah, blue and green is charging.
So I need to get a disc thing.
I'm running for one right now.
Oh,
I
okay.
think I've got an extra one in here, and this might be the one I put down accidentally, but I don't know. I'll have to look back through the video where I threw that. I probably put it somewhere.
This should be a
So
really long video.
there's the data disk. Okay, and there's a switch on the side. Turn that sucker on. There you go. Now,
I didn't
set.
name any of these.
Oh yeah, okay. I would turn everything back off then. Turn that switch back off. You can leave the disk in. Do you have a naming tool on you? Labeler?
Mm,
There
no, I
you go.
don't.
There's mine. I gotta do some maintenance. My waste tank's full, and I need some food. I need some power. Give me a minute. I'm gonna go run on and do all that. So yeah, inner vent, outer vent. You know how you wired them. It's not that hard. So the interior is obviously the interior, and you only need to active. You need only need to name the vents. The two vents is the only things you need to name. Let me know if you have any questions, man. I'm just getting myself all back in order here. I got 2 out of 3 sorted, working on the last one. You need any food, or you have food on you?
Um, it's a red flashing thing.
Oh, so you got a red flashing burger?
Yep.
Okay, that means you need a few. I'll bring you a can of tomato soup.
Ah, fell first.
I'm bringing you a can of tomato soup so you can fill up at least halfway with that. I ate the potato before I knew it, otherwise I would have given you a potato. And just so you know, tomato soup is like basic first food once you start making food. I mean, you could eat the raw tomatoes and all that, but they don't give you much. And then you can microwave it and make tomato soup, and then you can microwave a potato once you start making potatoes and make baked potatoes. Baked potatoes actually give you more in the long run. Um, there's a tomato soup. That should get you at least not dying, because you will die quickly if you run out of food.
How do I consume it?
Put it in your hand and right click, and hold the right click. You'll consume as long as you're right clicking until it's gone.
Okay.
Okay, so your
Gone.
burger should be gone. Good.
Yep.
So now you want to start selecting your things. So, oh, you know what? I lied to you. You need to label your doors. I'm sorry. That was the other thing.
Okay.
Your vents and your doors. So you got to label this the exterior door and the other one interior. You're in the chat channel.
Oh.
Press enter.
Okay. So
Labeled both doors.
exterior and interior door.
So I would turn that back off and then turn it back on, and it should have refreshed names of everything.
Okay. I
Vent.
didn't name it full interior.
Okay, so you just labeled it INT, Vent
Yeah.
1, Vent 2. You know what Vent 1 and Vent 2 are? I would
Yes.
name them, okay, oh, okay. Normally I would name them exterior and interior, um, just so you have a plain reference on view, but as long as you know which ones are which, it does not matter. So first thing I would do though is turn that thing off in your hand.
Oh, I was renaming something, but
Oh, never
okay.
mind,
Turn it off.
never mind, I thought you were done.
And I have to. Oh. I know. Oh, O is on. T. There.
You good?
Yep.
Alright, so I would flip the switch again so any names you updated come up updated. Turn it back on. Okay, and now first thing I would do is set the external pressure. So I would go all the way down to 1 kilopascal just so it doesn't have to pressurize all the way up to 2. Takes an extra like 2.5 seconds, but it's 2.5 seconds you don't have to sit there. And a large pressure difference will push you around. A small pressure difference like 1 kilopascal won't push you around anywhere. So the inside's fine. You can set it to 101 because that's where you're going to want to attempt to get it to is 101. Honestly, right now, I'd probably set it at 50. That's my personal, because it's easier to get it to 50 and get an atmosphere started and start growing plants, and you're good to grow plants about that pressure. Now, you see how you have your name int and it says exterior next to it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the door, right? That's interior
Mm-hmm.
door. So it wants to know if that the green is its markings. It wants to know if that nope, unclick that. Okay, so and you had that's your interior door. So your writing is on the left, the box's writing is on the right. It wants you to match your writing to its writing. So you want to match your exterior to its exterior. So the 1, 2, 3, 4 down, click on your exterior door to its exterior door, what it wants. It's trying to match up the two, and you're playing a game of match right now, telling it which output is which. So 1, 2, 3, 4 down, EX, and then it says exterior in green. Click on that one.
Click on the EX one.
Yeah, the one that says EX and exterior. Now you've told it what you have named EX is your exterior door. That's what you've told it.
Okay.
Okay, so now what you want, now it's asking for an interior. So the one you've labeled interior, INT, is your interior door. Boom, now you've made that one part of the group. Now, which vent is your exterior vent?
Vent one.
So click on vent 1 exterior. Now click on vent 2 interior. Now click on gas sensor. Boom, you're done. Pull that card and you have a working airlock system.
Boom.
Cycle to exterior. So what it's doing right now is it activated that vent, pumped anything in here that was part of the interior into that. Now it's pumping exterior atmosphere into this cube. Once we get to 1 kilo, I don't know what's up with this game, but it doesn't. This little bar over here should give you a nice little graphic telling you what pressure you're at, but it doesn't come up until you've reloaded once since this has been installed. Even if you've installed the console, pulled it out, and then put it back mid-game, it won't show that until you've reloaded one time. I don't know why, but just, one of those glitches they'll eventually fix, I'm sure.
Or not, and it's just a thing in the game.
No,
Goes on forever.
they're actually pretty active. And if I actually complained about it, they would, oh, you must have pressed the button on your way out. Oops. So that's the cool part about this, though, is now that these doors are part of the system, you wait for that to finish, let it do its thing, and then you can press on the button on the outside door, and it'll just cycle the airlock for you. See what I mean? Right now, it's cycling to the interior. So give it, oh, it'll never will. Oh, that's right. We don't have pressure in there. So it's going to sit there and suck until it tries to get to 50 psi. Oy. Okay. So, tell you what I'm going to do. Pull out this glass panel right here, and I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Just pull out that one glass panel with a crowbar.
What is that thing?
This is a tank of CO2.
Oh,
Okay, so seal me in. Put that
alright.
glass back in. Okay.
There it goes.
Yep, because what I did was I'm releasing this tank in here. So I'm releasing this pressure. I'm pressurizing this entire space with carbon dioxide right now.
Yep.
And it's at 89. I should turn this damn thing off. I didn't realize I'd get so much pressure in here. I'm going to overload this. I'm going to blow a window out if I don't turn this off. Yeah, 165, 170. I didn't realize it would do that much pressure in here. Wow. Alright, I got it closed. I'm at 141. Okay. um, so yeah, your little greenhouse is now pressurized at 140-ish kilopascals. So, which is fine. I mean, it's not overkill. But what you can do if you ever get yourself in this situation is you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more windows, build them outside here. So you see what I'm talking about? One,
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, and then 4, 5 would give you ceilings. Build that window, and then you can come in here, break these windows out, and into that vacuum space, and it'll spread out the pressure so that the overall pressure and the volume will reduce because you've given it more room.
What happens when you die in this game?
Um, it's actually kind of your corpse lays there, it decomposes, and then you have a rattling skeleton for a few minutes, and then your skull rolls away. You can actually collect the skulls and put them in a rack. One of my playthroughs a while back, I had a skull rack on Mars that had like 7 skulls in it from all the times I died. So
Uh,
that's just one of those, like you can keep track that way. You can, it's just up to you, but it's a little gruesome almost. You know what I mean? But whatever. Oop, fell off the edge. So yeah, that's you just built an airlock, dude. You built an airlock in Stationeers. That's not easy to, like people trip on building this, but now you at least know what's going on. And I'm sure it's getting way late for you, so you should go to bed, dude.
yep. Uh, yeah. All right.
No, come with me. I'm going to show you where to log off. Come with me.
That would have been a good thing.
Oh,
I'll get back in the Stationeers.
oh, you just exited. Oops.
Yeah.
Oopsie. It'll be fine. Jeff will end up, I think he'll end up on a new body if you don't reconnect. Oh, I just saw you stand up straight. I think you reconnected. Ooh, I see your eyes moving. Are you in or no?
No.
Oh, okay. That's weird. You like look left and right now. I was like, whoa. It was just your eyeballs, so your head didn't move.
What's the password called?
Um, I don't want to say it out loud. Let me type it in Discord.
All right. All right.
It's funny, you just kind of slumped forward right now. And your avatar did, in the game. It's funny.
Yeah. I'm about 30% into loading it.
Okay. Hopefully you come right back into this body like a disconnect and reconnect. That'd be good if Stationeers actually did that correctly, hopefully. We'll find out
Uh,
shortly.
I'm dead, or my dad's dead.
Okay, where is he at?
I'm saying that would be what happened.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
yeah.
back.
Oh, you're right where, oh, yeah, you're right in front of me. You're moving. Yay, it actually works right. All right, so follow me.
All right.
We'll get you off here real quick. Probably put that tool away in your hand too while we're in the airlock, waiting for it to cycle.
I can organize my inventory now.
That graphic's not working too. That's weird. And this one's been built since the reload. Maybe I was wrong. It always works after a reload, but for some reason this one's not working right now. The
Oh,
little
my screen
green.
says 99 kPa.
Oh, okay. So it's just not reading from me. So it's a client. But I'm the host. That's weird.
Yeah.
So sit into this sucker here, this little coffin-looking thing. You want to click on the yellow and left click on it. It says get in. Hold it down till you get in. Yep. And there you go. Now you can log off. I would
Okay.
before you do that, open your visor. I think your visor probably opened on its own though. Yeah, it opened on its own. Never mind.
All right.
You're good. Have a good night.
All right. Good night.